Here we are, fam. QB1, TBD. It is so fam. You know what? Here, let's do this. Let's do this together, okay? Fam, put your hand on your phone, your monitor, whatever device that you're using right now. Let us pray and ask us, dear Lord, please, can we be relieved of this situation? Going into the 8th year, please, can we have a quarterback that can stay in that position for a minute? That's all we ask. You know, it's not going to happen. Next year, this time, there'll still be a quarterback situation going on. It's one of those things that just can't get fixed. Niner fans will remember that it was at this time during the past 2 years that Coach Shanahan stirred the media up with comments about the quarterback room that set off a frenzy. Of course, a couple of years ago, Shanahan was actually setting them fires throughout the NFL community, right? He's over in Mexico stalking Stafford and McVay. Other times, you got these little things. Tom Brady has been approached by the foot. What? You know what? And their credo is we'll do anything it takes to get better. Okay, fine. So how is that going to do for quarterback continuity? This is why when I say Shanahan is not concerned about an all-star caliber Pro Bowl quarterback as much as he is a guy that can accurately throw the ball to where he wants him to throw the ball. Don't be thinking. Put the ball where I told you to put the ball, and we'll be fine. See, that's why they build a roster the way they do. There's like hardcore gunmen all around that quarterback. But as far as that quarterback goes, you just do what you're told. See, this is why there's always going to be a shoe until that stops. The difference, though, in this 3rd year is that both Lynch and Shanahan have candidly set media fires. Both seem to agree the quarterback one is Brock Purdy's job to lose. However, they both emphasize the chances for both 2021 rookie Trey Lance and the newly acquired Sam Darnold, just to add to the mess, are still competing to unseat Purdy should he not be able to return from his rehab in time to reassert himself by week 1. You see how the drama's always set up? You couldn't get a better series on Netflix. Tonight, going to the phones after going over some of the quotes of Lynch and Shanahan about the Niners quarterback room for your interpretation of what you think lies ahead in the adventures of the 49ers. Shit. Call in phones right down the base of the screen, fam. You want to get in? Call number and, of course, a PIN number. You'll need both. And get on in here and tell us what the hell's wrong in Santa Clara. So Brock Purdy is currently in Phoenix rehabbing with physical therapist Keith Kotcher. And while there isn't any set timeline for Purdy's return, John Lynch, who was questioned at the NFL owners meeting in Phoenix, believes the organization would have a better idea about Brock in another 12 weeks. So they're not going to commit themselves completely. But I guarantee you, from what we're taking out here, now I could be wrong, but it seems to me Brock Purdy is the child of great expectation. If he only was ready to go, there wouldn't be any argument this year. It would be Brock Purdy's job to lose. They might run a little mini pretend like we're going to run a competition like they did that year with Trey and Jimmy. Pretend we're running a competition, but we already made our choice. And John didn't stop there. He hinted at the possibility of Brock P. returning sooner than 6 months during Monday morning's owners meeting, saying, quote, "Our hope is he's ready to go in training camp," unquote. And that sounds optimistic, but they can only go on based on Niners. Can only go off of information they get off from others. What was made clear is that the Niners are confident in Purdy as their starting QB. Now listen to the players whenever Brock's name gets brought up. So there's, they get all pumped up. So this next Lynch quote shouldn't really surprise anybody. It is, quote, this: "He's probably the leader in the clubhouse. I'll let Kyle make those kinds of decisions." As if you guys hadn't already discussed it already. Come on, John. Come on. But anytime, it's like as that one girl said, like, anytime John's dimples start to drop all the way into the middle of his face, he's lying. Goes on to say, but I know when we talk, I think Brock has probably earned that right to be the guy. If we were to line up, he'd probably take the first snap, unquote. There have been a few comparisons to Purdy's magical run to the NFC Championship last season, and that Jimmy G going 5-0 to finish the 2017 regular season, right? That's a comparison to that. The fears of the 49ers are making a mistake in crowning Purdy, much like Jimmy, way too soon. There's a few differences, though, between the two scenarios. One, San Francisco isn't preparing no $137 million payday for Mrs. Purdy's baby. Boy, no, they're not. They don't have to. They're not going to. Second, the games BP won meant something. I mean, they meant everything. Jimmy swept down through the end of that schedule that year. There was a couple of challenges. There were a couple of teams that were going for the playoffs, but the weight of what went on here, there were tangibles at stake when Brock was out there, and he answered the bell big time, over and over. Some people criticized it, and they didn't like. They'd say, "Well, this is a little bit this." Forget that. Get over it. The dude kicked ass. That's all there is to it. The Niners have let their actions speak louder than the words when it comes to playing time at a specific position. And this particular, Lynch further said, quote, we've always said we don't care where you were drafted. If you were drafted, that's always been our stance. That's what we believe in, unquote. This is to say, we know we drafted Lance 3 and we traded up to get him, but that's neither here nor there. We're looking for the guy who's going to get the job done. You guys know you didn't. This is a faux pas on your part that you're trying to make it look like you almost. What? You get drafted, that's all that matters to us. Well, then why'd you use all those draft picks? We could have had a first-round pick this year and last year. Unquote. So, what does all of this mean for Trey Lance? Lynch answered, quote, I think both things can be true. We're still very excited about Trey, but I think the way Brock played, he probably earned the right to be the guy. But it's certainly a competition. We'll always have that. We'll find out if Brock is healthy enough to make it a competition. There were a few instances where Lynch said, quote, based on my conversations with Kyle, in fact, what they should do, Kyle and Jimmy, when they have those conversations in private, apparently Kyle should say, hey, John, wait, whoa. Listen, at some point they're going to grab us, they're going to drag us into a media conference. Let's get our heads together on what we're going to say, what we're not going to say, and not bump heads out there. People, there's a lot of fans out there going to say, are you guys working together or separately? We don't understand. But, they were pretty much on the same page. So he wasn't going rogue. John wasn't going rogue all the way. Lynch was mainly impressed with how the 49ers were winning. Continuing by saying, quote, he's done it for a part of 1 year, but the way he did it, not just he did it, but the way he did it gave a lot of confidence to everyone in our building. He earned that. It really kind of surprised us how adept he was and elusive he was at extending plays, but also playing within the system. He did everything well. Is there room for growth? Absolutely. But he's left us all with a lot of confidence that he's a real guy. He's a real guy, and we're excited about that. When your starting quarterback goes undefeated and you're scoring points at a higher clip than you ever have, there's little decision to make as to who should start. These things are all piling up, right? This is why when I said, and on Twitter, people said, I said, John just came in and just shattered any confidence that Trey may have built up in his mind coming out of the season and slapped all his ambitions down. So I got kicked back on Twitter. Well, if he's that fragile mentally, then he shouldn't be out here anyway. He's 20 what? Trey's had 1 year of college ball. He comes in and gets beaten up immediately, and he's out. So I'm saying, I don't. it's not about mentally strong. It's about, hey, can we keep some things at a level where everybody can remain optimistic as far as my players go? I want everybody to believe that they can come out there and lead this team so they can come out and bring their best game. Anyway, because John goes on to say, I keep coming back to how much better Purdy will get, and will some of the hidden warts that began to show themselves as the season went along get worse. When Kyle Shanahan is calling the plays. And you have 5 eligible skill players. See? You have 5 eligible skill players who can score whenever they touch the ball. This is Kyle's M.O. Quarterback, I don't want you out there doing a lot of things. Get the damn ball to the playmaker. That's what I've asked you to do. I want you to get the ball out on time. I want it to be accurate. And that's pretty much what I need you to do. And you'll still be the hero because first of all, you're touching the ball every play, and you're the one who's making sure that the guys I want you to get the ball get it done. You know, you can just drop back 15, 20, 30 step, drop back to throw a deep bomb. If it doesn't succeed, I'm going to kick your ass. But this is what I get the feeling Kyle's doing. And you have 5 eligible skill players who can score whenever they both touch the ball. There's little pressure on your quarterback to deliver. John Lynch. The 49ers' excitement over Purdy shouldn't be surprising for all the reasons just quoted from GM Lynch. Everyone's job was easier with Brock under center. That's what that offense is designed to do. He was a playmaker. He opened up the field and kept defenses honest. Purdy possessed traits that the Niners simply hadn't had under Kyle Shanahan. So we can conclude from Lynch's meeting, Brock will start. But when? And how long of a leash will Trey have while Purdy rehabs? Because if I'm Trey, I do just like Jimmy did on his last few minutes here. Kyle was over there bitching, complaining. Jimmy says, you know what, I'm throwing this ball where I think it needs to be thrown. Man, shut up. And Jimmy had a great inning. Jimmy went out 5 in a row. I don't care what anybody says. Jimmy was glistening. And when he gets back with McDaniel, he'll be emancipated even further. So I don't know. I'm hoping Brock did it to a degree. And I have a feeling Jimmy told him, listen, I'm telling you right now, make some decisions on your own. He's going to get you, but make those decisions on your own. And sure enough, Kyle did do that. If Jimmy didn't do it, I don't know if Jimmy said that, but Brock made a few plays that were off schedule, something like what Jimmy did in 2017, and that's why that offense was moving like it was. Kyle needs to let a little bit of slack off in there, Kyle. These guys aren't stupid. You drafted them for being. Let them play. Let them play. Those are the questions we'll have to wait and see for that answer. Trading a healthy quarterback to rely on a quarterback who may or may not be ready for the start of the regular season would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it? That's not going to happen. John Lynch was asked about the potential of trading Trey Lance. Lynch knows the Niners need depth at the most critical position in sports. He's quoted as saying, "We like Trey on our team right now," and then the joke of the year from Lynch. Guy and I always joke we trade each other if someone would give us a good enough deal. I was amused by that. So we listen to anything, but we like Trey on our team. We're very excited about the way he's progressing, about his opportunity. I think he's chomping at the bit to get back out there, get back under center, and get healthy again. Unquote, the Niners would listen to any team calling about Trey from what Lynch is saying there. You got to conclude, if a quarterback-needy team was willing to hand over enough picks and the Niners have enough information surrounding Brock Purdy's injury, then it's a deal they will most likely make. Fortunately, though, and I'm Trey, and people used to think I didn't like Trey. Listen, I hope he goes out there guns blazing and just goes buck wild. And you know why? Because the 49ers need to stop setting this crap up. You know, don't do that. I said, you know what? And then if I'm a quarterback for you, now I know you're going to get rid of me as soon as you can anyway. Because in the first place, the 49ers model is to make sure to keep that quarterback cash low and keep building around the mountain and putting that quarterback in that valley to be able to farm it out and get things to grow and let's go to market with that, right? I use that analogy because the fact of the matter is, if the quarterback goes into a second contract, I think the 49ers are not interested in paying him a huge contract. They're going to group somebody up, and mark my words, there will be a quarterback drafted this year. As if. You know, I Lynch did admit the Niners had conversations about some of the big name quarterbacks this offseason. Aaron Rodgers' name did come up in the conversation probably more than once before they decided on Sam Darnold. So Trey Lance and Sam D will play while Brock is away. See what I did there? During this offseason program and summer until B. Purdy is 100%. That's all there is to it, fam. Now, Lynch answering questions about trading Lance really does say it all, doesn't it? John should just immediately dismiss that question. No, we've got no ambitions toward trading Trey Lance. Next question. That should have been it. John went and elaborated on it and everything else. The thing that surprised me, though, at first was that I thought that John and Kyle forgot to go over what they were both going to say in the video. That's, but after listening to Kyle, who came in the interview a day later pretty much saying the same thing, the one thing that is clear over those 2 days was if he were healthy, Brock Purdy would be the front runner to start week 1 of the 2023 season. I think the largest percentage of the 49er empire probably thought that was probably going to be about the case, and that was going to be right. However, he is recovering from his March 10th surgery. March 10th was only a little few minutes ago, right? To repair the ulnar collateral ligament, the UCL tear in his right elbow. Now, a lot of people think he may not come back from that and look the same. That will keep him off the practice field no matter what until maybe early September. Season's already underway in September. That timeline, of course, could extend beyond September. It's just too early for the Niners to declare when last year's rookie sensation might go full go. The team will know more once Purdy begins throwing again sometime in June. Shanahan told reporters, quote, it might be week 1. I think I'm hearing at the latest week 4, but that's just all estimations, and we'll see what happens, unquote. Now, though, you have what a lot of us were thinking upon hearing about Sam Darnold moving into the Santa Clara area looking for a place to stay. One NFL insider believes it will likely be Darnold, not Lance, out there with the offense come week 1. Ian Rappaport. Rapp said yesterday on NFL Network, quote, we do not know what Trey Lance is going to be if he continues a trajectory that he's been on. And I think certainly it seems Sam Darnold will more likely than not be the starter going into the season. But there is an opportunity for someone to step in there and start the first couple of games of the regular season for the 49ers, unquote. The Niners certainly like Darnold. They've done extensive homework on the man. He's only 25 years old. Let me remind you that John and Kyle considered trading for Darnold in 2021 before the New York Jets shipped him off to the Panthers. You see how the dots are starting to connect here? Incentive package, that's pretty big. They didn't offer Sudfeld that kind of package last year because there was no doubt about him and his role on this team. Shanahan likes this guy, fam. And it was quoted, Sam has as good of a skill set as there is. That's why he went as a 3rd pick in the draft. When you study his play, you can see it too. I don't think he's always been in the best situations which is tough for quarterbacks. It's tough for all players, but it is one position, and it depends on the other 10 guys around you too. And I think Sam has played and done some really good things in this league. He hasn't won a ton of games and been thrown in some situations where you're going to keep both teams in the game because you got to keep slinging the ball and give your team a chance to win. This is why when I look at quarterbacks with all these big, huge stats, and we make comparisons with our guys to them, I said, well, hell, they were starting losing the game at the end of the first quarter. Of course they go airborne from that point on. They have no choice. And so you don't always have the best stats, but you see the ability. And he's always had the ability since his first year in college when we started watching him, and there's no reason he can't do it, unquote. That's a pretty glowing review, fam. What do you make of it? Is Sam Darnold, is Rappaport right? Is Trey going to be, I almost said the black sheep of the family. Is Trey going to be the underdog in this situation? And is he going to get everybody Trey. Because you know what? They've put our boy in a situation now. I don't know how he's going to win this. Darnold's got a lot of experience, NFL experience now. Trey has no NFL experience and very little college experience. For him to pull this off would mean he is Neo. He is the one. And he's going to have a chance to show it, but he's going to have to bring it. He's going to have to really bring it in practice. Because Darnold already knows what he's doing. All he has to do is figure out how the 49ers play. So who's starting day one if Purdy isn't able to make a miraculous recovery in time for week one? What are your specific thoughts regarding Trey? Bring it. Woo, because I ain't got, boy, I tell you, Kyle and John, if you guys do this next year, I tell you what, man, you guys get somebody over there and stop and get somebody to back up the guy if he Yo, well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Show. Show wanted to get in the other day.
Ronbo.
Yes, show.
Yeah, before I get to my point, can I get an installment, please?
Oh, I knew that was coming. Tony, wait, Tony, you gotta wait. And now, it is time for that old tradition on Ronbo Sports, when we allow grievances to be aired. It is time for an installment of Let Me Holla at You.
First of all, Xanax Phil, a.k.a. Chill Pill Phil. Xanax, none of you know what that is. It's a prescribed medication that gives a false sense of feeling good. And that's what Phil likes to think his calls are to all of you every time he calls in, is to make you feel good. And that's false. They don't make any of us feel good. Well, as the Red would say, now that that's out of the way.
Yes, please.
Ronbo, Ian Rappaport does not throw out BS information, nor is he there to speculate. He has legitimate sources, and he is the NFL's insider. And if he has somebody whispering in his ear that Sam Darnold is most likely to be going to be the starter week one, I believe it. Just like he said that Mac Jones was going to be the pick, I believed it. And Kyle Shanahan came out and said that Mac Jones was the pick, but he was pretty much talked out of it and selected Trey Lance instead. And if I were to put my money on the starter week one, on all my money on the starter in week one, it would be Sam Darnold. It's because the way his contract is structured. Sam Darnold is not here to become quarterback 3. He's not here to become quarterback 2. He is here to compete for the starting job, and that is what Kyle and John both reiterated at the owners' meeting the past couple of days. And if you read their comments, they speak highly of Sam Darnold out of all 3 of the quarterbacks. They wanted him in 2018. They wanted to draft him in 2018, but they knew they couldn't get him. They loved his size, they loved his athleticism, and they loved his accuracy and his accuracy moving in the pocket. And yes, Brock Purdy is good at that as well, but I stopped drinking the Brock Purdy Kool-Aid and jumped off that train real quick, because I believe when he gets the full grasp of Kyle Shanahan's playbook, he's going to be brought down to reality really quick. He was just ad-libbing those 8 games. Exactly. He was just ad-libbing those 8 games. And Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy are in totally different area codes as far as talent goes. Brock Purdy was drafted last, obviously, and Sam Darnold was drafted 3rd. The unfortunate thing for Sam Darnold is he had many offensive coordinators, at least 5 to 6 offensive coordinators his first years in his career, and that is unfair to him. And he also had multiple head coaches, a carousel of head coaches, and a shitty offensive line on all the teams he's been on, and less talent.
Kind of reminds you of the Alex Smith situation, didn't it?
Yeah, it's similar to that, but Sam Darnold is way better than Alex Smith, I think. And people are sleeping on Sam Darnold because they think he's just here to be quarterback 3, and that's not the case. And I agree with Ian. I'm putting all my money on Sam Darnold being starter week 1. And if Sam Darnold is 4-1, sit down Brock Purdy the rest of the year and become healthy. Good luck trying to get your job back from that because Shanahan loves this kid, Ronbo.
I know.
So does John Lynch.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And if you're
and as
winning,
far
they're
as
not going
Trey
to make you
Lance
sit
goes,
down.
Ronbo,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
their
please.
confidence on him,
Yeah.
their confidence in him is gone. It shows on their faces that their patience is wearing thin on him, and it sounds like a trade is pretty much imminent. That'll be the draft or the trade deadline this year. They're just tired of it. They're just tired of they're finally starting to realize they drafted a project at 3. We should have taken Justin Fields or Mac Jones at number 3, and they were talked by the scouting department into taking Trey Lance because of his upside, which I am so sick of hearing when it comes to quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you don't draft.
that's what I'm curious about, though. Now, who's going to bite on such a deal, and what would be the return from said team? What would you give for
Honestly,
Trey Lance?
give him to Ron Cath. Is it Cath? How do you say his last name?
Carathan, or I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Something like that. Ship him off to Tennessee for their 11th pick and draft Paris Johnson Jr., who's the number 1 right tackle in the draft this year,
so did you say 11th pick?
and solidify that spot.
Is it,
I'm
the
sorry?
Titans are drafting 11th?
Yeah.
Trey, is Trey going to fetch a first-round pick? Is that?
I think so.
You think so?
I mean, if you're a quarterback in any team and you're in the top 15, then of course you're going to look at Trey Lance compared to the other quarterbacks on the board right there. And the last quarterback that's good on the board, as far as going number 1, is Anthony Richardson. It goes Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and then it falls off completely after that.
Because wouldn't it behoove them to trade up with that 11th pick and try to get one of the guys? Richardson's a project as well, from what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
So I think Ron likes him too, or ship him off to Minnesota and sit behind Kirk Cousins for 2 years. That's stuff on his contract. Where he's from, Minnesota is
So
home.
you're kind
You
of
know,
hard on the
like,
Lance kid. Hey, Siberia's your next stop, right?
I'm not
Show.
hard on him, Ron. I was never a fan. I don't like drafting unproven players in the top 3. That's a huge mistake, especially if you only had 1 season in college and only 4 passes since high school. That's a big red flag right there. You do
Yeah,
not
and
take
you
that
make him
person up
you make
3.
him a 2-year project minimum. Tony does point
And he's
out though
already been with us.
3
He's had his
going to 3.
opportunities.
Well,
He's had his opportunities, Ronbo, and he hasn't capitalized on them, Ronbo. Like, people don't understand that. Like, oh, he's got to get it up. He's going to get a chance this year. How many more years are we going to wait? We're going to be old and in senior home
that's the thing. He was
by the
supposed to be
time that
ready,
happens.
and I think that may be the reason why they went and got Darnold, because they need to get rolling now. This team, the Super Bowl window with every year is getting smaller. One thing though, Tony Nagatani points out, there's still going to be a dead cap hit even if they trade him.
They can restructure some contracts left on the players' contracts left on the team that'll allocate money towards that. And I don't think they care about money right now. If they just went out and spent $84 million on Hargraves when everybody thought that we didn't have any money, you know what I mean? So don't pull that right there. You know.
We'll see, because it is going to be.
That's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to Lance to just sit here and twiddle his thumbs. Like he's been beat out by a 7th round, 252nd or whatever he was selected at draft pick. That's kind of sad. You know, that's when your GM names him quarterback 1 when he's not healthy right now.
Yeah.
Over you, that's not fair. Come on.
Yeah, it really is. And poor Lance, he's got it. I mean, the what's his name in Green Bay? Love. What's his first name? Jordan. Yeah, Jordan Love has been sitting over there, cobwebs all over him for how many seasons now, and Aaron's finally leaving, and Jordan finally gets a chance. Jordan's got to be scared to death. Is he coming back? Can I play now? You know, so it's So, all right.
He might not ever get to play, especially if they keep Aaron Rodgers around and they don't trade him to the Jets. I mean,
And that's not
poor kid. But
yes, that's not guaranteed. All of a sudden they're saying, oh, whispering this, whispering that. You wonder, because the Jets don't
and
have to
another
give Green
bad
Bay a
sign is
first round. Well, no, the Jets
for Trey
have to
Lance.
give a first pick.
Another bad sign for Trey Lance. You bring Sam Darnold in and pay him all that money to compete for the starting job. You know he's going to beat Trey Lance out in training camp.
We're going to see, show. We're going to see. I'm going to tell you what, we'll see you
All my money
Friday.
is on Sam Darnold starting week 1. And if he goes 4-1, he's the quarterback of the year.
Yeah.
So you can't pull him from that.
To start.
Even if Brock's healthy.
All right, Shell. We'll see you
All
Friday.
Right. Shout out to Prophet Dragons. Shout out to Tony from Down Under and the TT family if they still exist. All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Night, Show. Well, there he is. Show brought his big spoon and stirred everything up. Just in time for the man that was referred to as Xanax only minutes ago. It is time for Chill Pill Phil.
Where do I start?
Well, I mean, wherever you want, Phil.
Okay. First of all, the Niners are not going to trade Trey Lance this year.
Yeah.
All right? They have a $10 million guaranteed payment to him on the cap.
Yep.
What they're going to do is they're going to try to boost him up. And then next year, before the draft, they have the 5th-year option. And they're going to trade him before that. And another team can exercise that 5th-year option and then work a deal. But right now, they're not going to trade Trey Lance, all right? And
John Lynch, is that you?
I mean,
that sounds exactly possible. Because at this point, you are cheating that kid. You're working around him to the point
they're going
now.
to give him a chance. He's gonna have the snaps this year. If he doesn't pan out, fine. But I don't think Sam Darnold is going to start. The Niners don't want to pay all that bonus money. They don't. Just like Jimmy, they didn't play him towards the end of the season because they didn't want to pay that bonus money.
Phil, why make that deal, though? Why not just give him a stud, Phil? Because they won't sign. Then that's true.
What was that?
I was thinking, why give him that kind of deal to begin with? If your whole objective here is just, we'll give you this, and this.
Insurance.
Yeah.
He's insurance.
So you got to pay high for that policy, and hopefully you can cash in on it later, right? I guess so.
No, if you have to, yeah.
Well, when I say cash in, I mean you can hold on to that funding because when you pay premiums every month and you don't get hurt, have no accident, or not get in the hospital,
the insurance company's making money. Doesn't play.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to start Trey. They're paying Trey. They have to pay Trey anyway, and they're going to, if he boosts his value, yeah. And here's my take. We're going to draft about 28th through 32nd. I mean, given. Top last 4 draft picks in the draft. We have our first round draft pick next year. If Trey is valuable, then we move up into a top 10 spot, packaging Trey with our first round draft pick and get the replacement for Trent Williams.
Yeah, if there exists such a thing. Because Trent Williams is going to, whoa, my God, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's gone. He's going to be in 2 years, going to be gone.
I fully agree with that. Trent wanted to leave this year.
He's a left tackle. That's what I would do. But, I'm sorry. Big Show, sorry. You started off with, what's his name from Baltimore?
Yeah.
And that would destroy our team.
Yeah.
You're going off and off and off.
Yeah, Lamar's not leaving Baltimore. Yeah, I agree. But Lamar Jackson will play with the Orioles this year. I'm sorry.
And then Aaron Rodgers. You don't want Aaron Rodgers. He's going to destroy your team, and then he's going to be gone in a year.
Exactly. That's why the Jets have really put themselves in a bind.
You know what, Rambo? Let me tell you this story. The Rams have put out a letter to all their season ticket holders telling them they're going to be trash.
Tony, can you confirm?
That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
not
fact.
Tony, but Ramilia, can you confirm that? I will not
Yes.
confirm or deny.
It came out on the NFL Network.
I didn't even see
We're
that episode.
rebuilding. And then when I looked at Kyle Shanahan's press conference at the owners' meeting, he had 15 press guys around him. Sean McVay had one
I
in
see
the
that in the back.
background.
I see that. I see McVay over there.
What?
Yeah.
Ronbo. Did you say we're not going to make the playoffs?
Oh, I'm
Hello.
pretty sure. I don't see if that would be the 49ers embarrass themselves by getting beat by the NFC West opponents.
The first three, after free agency, the power rankings came out. The Niners were at the worst case 5. Most of the time they were 3. And because they put Kansas City and Philadelphia first and second because they were in the Super Bowl. And some power rankings put Kansas City and Cincinnati. But they had Seattle 19, the Rams 25, and Arizona 32nd.
Go AZ!
Are you
Go AZ!
Ronbo, we've got New England all over again. New England had Miami and all those teams that were really bad Jets.
Buffalo just recently got bad. Good. Yeah.
And then they won.
Yeah.
We've got it now. Seriously. Our division is as weak.
Yeah.
So
yep. We got to get through this, Phil.
We're walking into the playoffs.
Yeah. I just hope we walk in.
Where we walk into it, I don't know.
Oh, you just don't come in at half.
I want home field advantage. That way I get more playoff games. And so, and we're going to win. But we've got a great team. Let's not frown on that.
I fully agree. And, I do like when the 49ers are battle-tested going into the playoffs.
Win the division, win the NFC, get in the Super Bowl, and may the chips lie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
We have the talent.
Yeah. People don't realize how hard that is to get to the Super Bowl. Some people, we get there and then we fall short. I mean, I need to appreciate the process, guys. I cannot frown upon a team that got all the way to the Super Bowl. That's just, and then lost by 3 points. I don't want to be a
loser for the next 10 years like the Rams.
I don't either.
Because we traded for one Super Bowl.
And now you're in the red for God knows how long, owing people money from 4 and 5 years ago. I mean, I guess we can't say anything. I understand we're still paying the guy that we got from Kansas City, the edge rusher.
D. Ford.
Yes.
D. Ford.
We're still paying D. Ford. Whoa.
We got $8 million in dead money for D. Ford.
That's a damn shame.
We got $2 million in dead money for Kyle Mack. We got $6 million in dead money for J-Dub.
What?
We don't have that next year.
Wait a minute. Jimmy's not a clean break? See, I didn't read it.
No, Floyd contracts for J-Dub when we renegotiated his contract, and so now we got to pay him $6 million this year for dead money.
Yes, all those guys they renegotiated and restructured, they had to extend the years, of course. Oh, that's right.
That's why they're trying not to restructure as many contracts this year. They're really doing a good job. Brock is trying to keep us in financially good shape.
Well, they get permission from Jet. We used to backload or front load those things so you can get them paid And then when time comes and you do have to do this, you just say, want to thank you for everything you've done for us, but we really got to make this move now in the best interest of the team. You're a good football player, and you'll find a spot somewhere in the NFL.
It's
Don't worry
hard
about
to
it.
now
Yeah.
if you want to win a Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
the
You got
Niners
too
are
many
doing the
guys.
best job.
Yeah.
We are the best at what we're doing financially. So
We're going to see what happens in.
I like our team.
All right. And Phil, I do too. We're going to be okay. And Phil, I enjoy
We're
when
going
you
to be
came in
okay.
here. Yes, I enjoy when you come in here and
The only
reassure us
big
that everything's
worry we
okay.
have is Nick was driving in Miami with a expired license.
I know, Nick, and I'm still concerned about that stadium incident. I'm hoping that wasn't really him. But anyway,
No.
Phil, we gotta go. I'll see you Friday, okay?
All right, Ronbo.
Thanks, Phil.
Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. There he goes. And hey, Bryant, get in here.
Hey, Ronbo, how are you tonight?
Brian, doing fabulous because, as I say, it's before the action gets underway, we can talk a lot of things. Brian, listen, before I forget it, though, Chris Hansen has been asking about this hat. I see the 49ers scared. Is this hat going to be something people can get?
Well, it's definitely up to you. If you want to produce it, if people like it, then you can definitely do that.
Right.
You can talk on the side. If people like the hat,
No, we can talk. I
like
just want to.
the cup, if they like different stuff, then we can definitely do it.
Okay. Okay.
If there's people out there that want it, and you like it, if you like your name on it, then let's do it.
All right. I do, and okay, we'll talk more about that. But Brian, right now, the situation is, in your mind, what is materializing here in Santa Clara, even as we speak, with the quarterback room?
My honest opinion
Mm-hmm.
is it's a smokescreen.
Ooh.
And they're going to do this to us every year.
Oh, yeah.
They're never, ever going to tell us exactly what they want to do. If they came out and said, we're going to trade Trey Lance, then the value for Trey Lance is going to drop significantly. If they come out and they say, if
Darnold.
Purdy is, if Darnold is just here for a camp arm, then there's going to be no value for him if we go to trade him. There's going to be no value for Purdy if we don't say, oh, he's going to be ready sometime during the season. Even though he's a rookie, seventh round, pick, they obviously like the guy. So they don't want to say, oh, he's going to be on injured reserve the whole year, or they're trying to make a roster spot for him. So at this point, I definitely see them liking three quarterbacks, regardless if they're going to keep all three. That's kind of hard not to keep all three at this point if, we all go in thinking Purdy is going to be injured for a couple of games. He's not going to be ready to start for maybe at least four weeks into the season. And at that time, you'll have him and you'll have the other two quarterbacks. That's three. So there's a lot of people saying, well, Kyle only wants to run two quarterbacks. And he actually came out and said that, but how is he going to do that? I don't get the math. So I don't know if he's trying to make the NFL, push the NFL to give him another quarterback. I don't know if they can vote on that after, they just had the owners meeting and they didn't vote on adding the quarterback. And Ronbo, this is something that I was just thinking about. I know this isn't hockey, but we do have a hockey training staff for, our players, our injured players, right? A training staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking, again, it's not hockey, but, hockey has a goalie. They have a backup goalie, and then they have an emergency goalie. Why doesn't the NFL do that? Like, you have a quarterback, he's not accounted for the team, he's not counted against the team, he's on your team, he could be your practice quarterback, like no one can sign your practice quarterback or something like that. But if you lose two quarterbacks, you should be able to say, hey, emergency guy, come out of the stand, come on, put your helmet on.
No, I agree, and that would behoove the product on the field. You don't want to see what you saw against the Eagles and 49ers in the NFCCG again. That was awful. I mean, you can only run so many Wildcat plays. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, at this point, like me and you and a lot of the old callers and stuff like that, Phil and Big Show and everybody, I mean, like, we get on, we talk a lot. Everybody here wants to be heard, and this is a great outlet for us to be able to come on. But we can't pound our fist on the table and say we absolutely know everything. We're not in the locker room. We're not in the facility. We're not in the rooms where these people are saying this. This is all like coming from somebody secondhand. Everybody, this is all speculation and stuff. But what's funny is we do know when they were courting Deshaun Watson, they were courting Matthew Stafford. They did try to go after Sam Darnold. They did try to go after Aaron Rodgers, and then they finally went after a rookie quarterback. So it is really funny that they tried to go after veteran quarterbacks, and now they're happy with having a rookie quarterback because of the price of his contract. I think they like having positive, come out of the facility. I think they like saying, oh, well, this was a great decision because look what just happened. This is why we're running it this way now, because it makes sense. We have a rookie quarterback and we can pay everybody else a bunch of money. Ronbo, they didn't care about paying anybody a couple of years ago. They wanted a Super Bowl. So when our players that was on the team got hurt, that kind of went out the window because they're like, okay, well, we spent a bunch of money on Jimmy Garoppolo. We spent a bunch of money here and there, and it's not panning out. So now what is it? We got a rookie quarterback. We don't have to spend any money on him. And we have a superstar team, but we can't get to the Super Bowl. So we're missing that quarterback. And Sam Darnold's not a scrub, even though he sees ghost. But, that can happen, different places in the NFL, different places in the world. I'm sure it's haunted. So maybe, MetLife, Jets Field, or whatever you want to call it, it's haunted. And we got him out of there. He went to Carolina. He started playing better there. So maybe with the San Francisco 49ers, he might have a better opportunity. But I don't understand that either, what they're saying. Kyle came out and said that both quarterbacks, Trey and Sam, are both going to split reps. And I've heard people say back and forth, well, he's going to get like 8 reps to Trey and 2 to Sam. That don't make sense. It's not going to be 50-50, I get it, but it's not going to be like 80-20. It might be 60-40. But aren't you going to let both quarterbacks, go out there and play? At this time, for whatever
otherwise, how do you get a good look?
Whatever reason, they're looking for somebody. They're looking either for somebody to ignite Trey Lance and calm him down so he takes the reins, or they're looking past him and thinking this isn't the guy anymore. And I don't really. At the end of the day, I just want the Niners to win a Super Bowl. They bring in Joe Flacco. They could bring in, I don't care, Rich Gannon, whoever you want to bring in. JT O'Sullivan. I want the Niners to win a Super Bowl, and I don't really care how much it costs. It's been almost 30 years, and I'm not going to keep. I'm not going to stop rooting for the 49ers, but the window is getting closer and closer. It's getting smaller and smaller, and it doesn't matter what we do. We're fans. We can pound our hands on the table and say, "Oh, I'm going to strike." I want Kaepernick back, but it doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter what they say coming out of the facility, because right now this is all dead time. So they're giving us something to talk about. Mm-hmm. And again, if they come out and tell us, "Hey, we're doing all this," and everybody else in the NFL knows exactly what we're going to do, and that makes our value for our team, because they know our master plan, go down. If you know the other team's plan, you can hurt them. And I think that's why the Niners, we don't leak. And if we leak, it's something that they wanted us to know.
Yeah. Brian, those are excellent points. We've seen this year after year after year, and the 49ers surprised us. Javon Hargrave sent bolts through my body. I didn't see that coming. Every time they hit us, it's like being hit with a truck. When all of a sudden the 49ers make these deals, people leaving, people coming in, it's always a surprise. There was hints, but never anything exactly to the point of what they did. So there's no telling what's coming up, even for the draft.
Yeah, they went ahead and they signed Zane Gonzalez. We're not giving up anything for Zane Gonzalez. It's just like a compensatory pick for next year. They're paying his money. But the funny thing is, we go and sign it's almost like a Trent Baalke pick or something like that. We would go and get a kicker that was injured all year last year. Yeah. And is it because they just want to camp leg right now? Or are they trying to put pressure on Robbie? Like, hey, we got a kicker, dude. We don't need you anymore. Ooh. Or, are they setting themselves up to go after a kicker in the draft? And, if they pick a kicker at 99 and it's Jake Moody, I'm not going to be mad. But I don't know if that's necessarily what we need. But,
Brian,
if they're already filling up the D-line, they're already filling up the O-line, what else do we need at that point? Ronbo? Best player available, right?
And you know when they're not saying goodbye to Robbie yet, so your guy could be
No.
our guy, could be back.
Yeah. Yeah, his jersey's still in my shopping cart on Fanatics. I mean, just as soon as he says he's signing again, I'm ordering that jersey. But if he doesn't sign, I gotta pull a trigger. It'll be Tater Pepper or something like that, or Mitch Wisnowski. I mean,
Yeah,
I love me some special things.
Robbie's going to be HOF, so you could still get it.
But the whole thing is like a lot of people's come out and said it. Like Matt Barrows has said it. A lot of other people said it. It's a 50-50 chance that he comes back. And the good thing about it is no one signed him. So, I mean, whatever. If he comes back, it's great. I know some people don't care, but hey, not everybody's favorite player is the kicker. It's mine, but, it doesn't have to be yours. So,
I mean, you know what?
I'm not really worried about what's going on with the quarterbacks. I'm worried about the kicker. You know what I mean, Ronbo?
Special teams, Bryant.
All right, Ronbo, you have a great night. And, yeah, get back to me, in email or Twitter or whatever. Or
we'll talk more about that.
And
right.
we'll talk.
All
right, man. You have a great night, and everybody stay faithful. And TNT, you better wake up. You're out there. We know you're out there. It's been a long time. So, let me holler at TNT until they get here, right? All right, Ronbo, you have a good night.
You too, fam. Give my best to the family. Have a great night.
Always.
And Rodney Williams says, get over it. Big show. We got Trey, not Mac Jones. Dude, get over it. You're the biggest hater of Niner players I've seen. Trey is a Niner, period. And it's true. We cannot lose sight of that fact. I like underdogs. I'm looking at this situation, and Trey is just like Breezy tweeted just the other day, and I retweeted, with the signing of Sam Darnold. This is an uphill climb for Trey. Now you got to root for Trey big time. Come on, Trey. They put you in a situation now. They already said Purdy's their guy. Basically said, we love us some Brock Purdy. We got Sam Darnold. We're going to put him in a shootout match with Trey. So, you're like, what?
Not with that touchdown versus interception ratio over his career. Everybody needs to slow down.
See, that's the thing. All right, hold on, Alice. Let's get Jalen. Hey, yo, Jalen. Jalen, come on here, Jalen. Jalen, get in here, man, because we cannot let the Rams and Hawks miss a program of the Jalen whooping. All right, Jalen, let's come back to Jalen because he would have answered right away. There he is. Let us now go out to the state of Tennessee where the Dragon Master is on the phone. He is Papa Dragon. Pop.
Trey Lance versus everybody.
We can't tease the lions now. They had some. What's that guy that came back today from the dead? I said, damn. I guess pretty soon Megatron's gonna play. Hey, y'all got a team now. I feel like I can play a little bit. Let's go.
Big shout out to Big Show for voicing his opinions in a respectful way towards the fan base. I disagree with 90% of what he said, but big respect and big ups to Big Show. Shout out to Chill Diet Pill Phil.
Oh, God.
You fat, greasy bastard. Keep my name out your mouth.
Pop! Bad filming, and I wonder what is wrong with Dad. He's saying things like this.
The dude starts off, man. It just irks me, man. Why? We're trying to talk football here, Ronbo. Let's talk some football.
Okay.
So, owners' meetings have come and passed, and I'm not surprised by what I heard. Ultimately, a lot of us has been saying the 49ers don't have a quarterback. At least the wise ones have. Because technically you have quarterbacks coming off injury. They're serious injuries. You don't know what you got until you got it, right? What we do know is this, is that it seems that the three-headed dragon, which would be Kyle, John Lynch, and Jed, seem to be playing nicely together. So nicely, in fact, that apparently Jed organizes the Cabo Click vacations and pays for it.
Really?
Yeah, that came out. Very interesting that a silver spoon in the mouth snob wants to create a little clique inside of the football team. But whatever. Whatever. I still want to know how come my boy IU can't get invited. What's up? What's
Good
up?
point. Good point. If you're going to romance
You know?
players, that's where you're going to start.
I'm sure he tried to invite Nick Bosa, but Nick was like, I gotta
Be at bed at
work
8:30.
out.
Yeah.
I gotta eat fit, and gonna drink some shower water, so can't make it. Got to get my license registered. Anyway,
He's a good kid. Don't bother him.
so yeah, he's such a felon. I mean, protect our children from him peeing on a bleacher. But you know
I'm
what?
so concerned about that. I hope
Protect
that was
our children from books about drag queens. But you know what? Assault rifles for everyone. All right. So anyway, based on what I'm hearing, I think what they said is what they believe, but something they had to say. Because you got players like J Dub saying the truth. They got a quarterback problem, right? Which basically means he knows that the locker room is probably a little bit splintered, okay? Plus they have a quarterback coming off injury, right? Big props to Brock Purdy. I love the underdog. I love the way he played. He played very well. But the reality is that it's a small sample size, and we'll have to see how it goes. Plus, he lacked an arm strength.
Papa Dragon is a gay.
Yes, I am. So
Listen,
he lacked it.
Okay,
Who was that?
I have no
Who
idea.
was that?
That voice pops in every now and then. It
Who
sounds
was
like
that?
a child.
It doesn't matter who it was. Jabroni. Anyway, so going back to the whole the feeling of the big three, as I like to call them now. I kind of hinted at this weeks ago when they picked up Hargrave, when our biggest need was quarterback and offensive line. Dude, Kyle was like, I got the offense. Just give me somebody who don't get hurt and somebody can deliver the ball to the players. I'm good. So,
Absolutely.
and there's Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold apparently has got a very, very high completion percentage when he throws the ball in under 3 seconds and in the middle of the field. So there's Sam Darnold there. So that is legitimate competition for Trey, for whom Trey Lance, to his credit, said, hey, I don't want to be given a job. I want to compete for it. Careful what you ask for, bro, because it's here. So either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. I'm going to give the edge to Trey Lance. He's been in the offense for 2 years. Kyle Shanahan's offense is supposed to be hard to learn. So from my standpoint, and Kyle, he's such a smart genius that he's not going to simplify his offense. So I'm going to give the edge to Trey Lance. But I do believe ultimately that Trey Lance will hit the field this year at some point, because I do believe that Brock Purdy arm limitations is going to be a big problem in outdoor games, cold weather games, and things like that. So, and we don't have a dome. So, and if he had arm strength issues, the year between your sophomore year is the year where you get a little bit stronger, or you get more zip on your ball. For example, Mac Jones' arm improved a whole lot his sophomore year training an NFL program and working on his arm strength. Purdy's not going to have that luxury. He's got to rehab, and he's got to try to get back in the game. Will Kyle force him in soon? I don't know. But I don't think it's wise for the 49ers to trade Lance, because it'll be an instant $20 million cap hit. So as soon as they trade him, they have to start juggling contracts. And that is not cheap, right? It's not like, okay, we're going to reorganize your... No, they have to come up with cash right away. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Yorks are borrowing $120 million
to fix the
spruce
stadium.
up Levi.
That shocked me.
Yeah. But rich people do that, though. They borrow money.
Yeah.
So,
and then don't pay it back. And they remain rich.
Only Trump. So, so anyway, it's on record. Don't pay people back. So moving forward, but hey, Trump's a dog, bro. He's slippery. They're not gonna get him. He's like the kingpin of crime. They're not gonna get Trump. All right, so moving forward, staying back on subject here, getting back on subject. I truly believe a lot of what Kyle had to say, and the main thing that stuck out to me was when Kyle said it doesn't fit into our cap structure. So what they're basically saying is we're going to go cheap at quarterback for as long as possible, and we're going to win with defense. So they're going to spend their money on defense. Kyle's going to make the offense go, and I guess whatever happens, happens, but I still find it hard to believe. And I'm going to end this with a quote. And the quote goes like this: I am the window. As long as I'm playing, we have a Super Bowl window. You know who said that?
Sounds like a T.O. statement, but who was it?
Joe Burrow.
Ooh, that's right. Joe, yeah.
That's what I
like
want.
that.
That's what I want at quarterback. I want a quarterback that's got that. You see what I'm saying? That's what we need. If we're ever going to get that, we're ever going to get that 6. And if the Yorks are going to get there first, they're going to have to either prove to us that their current strategy, which they're not changing, Ronbo. This is their strategy. This is it. This is it for the next 4 or 5 years. So what we're looking at here, that it's going to be, it's going to be a buster like Sam Darnold holding up the championship trophy, or it's going to be Mr. Irrelevant holding up the championship trophy, right? So this is the first year, period, that there has been a quarterback competition, and people are freaking out. There wasn't one last year. Trey was just given a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Before,
and then Jimmy
they
never
hinted toward it with the 2 quarterbacks running in and out of the game. But, it was...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Jimmy's never been challenged. They never brought people in to challenge Jimmy. Right? They just kind of...
And nobody was
I don't like the way they did it. Yeah. I don't like the way they did Jimmy, but, I mean, that is their way. It's like, to them, the quarterback position is nothing more than just a position. Guess what?
Pop,
Purdy. Yeah.
This could be the last year any quarterback with any credentials at all signs with San Francisco, knowing that the 49ers are doing that to quarterbacks. If Darnold comes in here and gets abused, that's the last guy that's coming over here, unless he's got something in writing.
I don't think that's true. I think there'll always be reclamation projects coming, and I think Sam is that. And Sam is smart. So when Sam caught contact, he's like, look, man, do I got a chance to compete? Because he sees what's going on there. He says, look, I can beat Purdy. I'm better than Purdy. And Lance, I'm better than him. I played more than him. I can beat him. That's what's happening. So even on the offensive line, it's happening that way. So, I mean, I'm down for whoever gives us the best chance to win. I don't care if it's Darnold, Purdy, or Lance.
Because Kyle's going to get, like he said, all he needs as a defense. But
I'm a 49er supporter, period.
So I see Geno Smith possibly being a 49er before his career ends. We got to go, though.
All for it.
I'll see you Friday, okay?
Rombo's coming in at quarterback for the 49ers. Rombo is a 50-year veteran. Rombo's firing. Rombo's firing up the huddle. Line
up! George Kittle and I are up there giving high fives and bumps, and you guys got to snap the ball and get delay a game. What? We're getting fired up here.
Oh man, Rombo. Man, look, I got so much love for you in production. Thanks, guys, so much. A big shout out to Tony down in Australia. 49er fans, look, let's hope for the best, man. Let's hope. That's all we can do is hope for the best.
Yeah.
But this is the situation we're in right now. The quarterback is not a position of importance to this regime. It is what it is. They've said it. I didn't say it. They said it. So I'm not going to argue about it. I'm just going to let it play out. I'm not going to make no predictions. I'm just going to let it play out.
Yeah.
Period. And don't feel bad for Trey.
Yep.
Don't feel bad for Trey Lance. Trey Lance, they like Trey Lance, and he's a 22-year-old multimillionaire. Don't feel bad for that kid. He's doing all right.
True that.
He's all right.
All right, Bob.
He ain't going nowhere either.
Let me see you Friday.
Yeah.
Have a great night. Give my best to the Dragon family.
You too.
And let's go check and see if Jalen. Jalen. Oh, yes. It's Tony Naga, blue waters of Hawaii, Naga Tony.
Aloha, Ronbo. How's it going?
Aloha, Tony. Now, Tony, you were making, I was actually using, for reference, I was just paying attention to what you were saying while the show was going on and on. I forgot about that cap hit. That's dead cap. The 49ers are not going to put up with that. Tony, get into some of the other things you were thinking. They were all interesting. I was glad you got in here. What are you thinking about this whole every year situation again?
Well, so the biggest thing I'm thinking more than anything else is I finally got a chance to watch Kyle Shanahan's press conference that he gave at the owners' meetings. And I know we have a lot of sensationalistic content creators who are kind of going nuts on the Twitter, getting a whole bunch of engagement out there. I thought that it was actually a pretty good press conference. Kyle Shanahan's best that I've ever seen him give in terms of his ability to not say ums and ahs.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I took away from it, it all seems pretty rational to me. They brought in, Sam Darnold to be the third string quarterback and, yes, to compete, to play. But they don't know what they have in Brock Purdy because of the fact that he had that serious arm injury. Mm-hmm. They don't know when he's going to get back, although it's likely he'll be able to begin taking reps again before sometime during the preseason. But even so, it's kind of not fair to Brock Purdy to have that hanging over him. As a matter of fact, I would like it to see Brock Purdy start the season on the PUP list. That way he can actually have the full time to rehab that arm. And then at the same time, because we have Trey Lance still, and by and large, we don't know what we really have in Trey Lance over the long haul. So I would very much like to see Trey Lance start the season. And I think he's pretty much set up to do that. I mean, he has to beat Darnold in camp, but I think he'll be able to do that going into OTAs as the front runner in the locker room. And at the same time, I know everyone is saying that Brock Purdy has won the locker room because he won all those games, and that is very, very true. And that's what John Lynch was alluding to during his press conference at the owners' meeting. So that is only natural. Trey was hurt last season. But the thing I just keep coming back to is the fact that at many points during Trey Lance's career, okay, he was poised to go in as the starter. His rookie year, he hurt his knee against the Cardinals, right? And then they put Jimmy back in, right? And when they put Jimmy back in, Jimmy had a horrible game against the Colts in that monsoon game. Yeah. And if Trey didn't hurt that knee then, Kyle was ready to bench Jimmy and play Trey. Okay, so that's one. So already the Niners wanted Trey to be the guy. Then again, last season, Jimmy had his injury, right? And Trey became the de facto starter all throughout camp. Started the season, but then Kyle got him hurt again in week 2. And so, of course, they went back to Jimmy, and they went on that Cinderella run between Jimmy and Brock Purdy, and then Brock Purdy showed himself. Much credit to the 49ers scouting staff for finding a guy like Brock Purdy so late in the draft. So I think actually this is set up quite nicely for Trey. And also for the 49ers, because Trey is going to have another shot at it. He was drafted to be the guy. We're going to see if he's the guy all off season. If he isn't the guy after the first few weeks of the season, Brock Purdy will be ready to play and ready to go. Oh, and by the way, we just came off a season where we went through 3 quarterbacks. And more and more often in the league now, 4. More and more often in the league now, we're seeing the backup quarterbacks having to play for at least a few games per season. So having Darnold in there insulates the team against having uncertainty at the quarterback position. And this roster, yes, it is built to win now. Kyle Shanahan is the kind of play caller who gets his wide receivers wide open with scheme alone. And Papa Dragon said it best, that they don't value the quarterback position as much as other teams. So Kyle believes that he can be the window. And so all he needs is above average quarterback play given the skill positions that they have. And that's the current strategy for the next 2 to 3 years while we wait to see if it is either Brock Purdy or Trey Lance as the franchise quarterback. And only then when one of those two goes on to the second contract will they change up the way that they have built this roster? Because right now they have a lot of great talent that is not at quarterback. They have good talent at quarterback too, but all the money is going to non-quarterback positions.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to win with above-average quarterback play. So I think this is great. I think that I wish we had more draft picks, of course, but they are set up now to take best player available pretty much the entire way through the draft. I would like to see some offensive line improvements, of course. But by and large, this is. I'm glad it's Trey's. The ball's in Trey's court now. Is really what I'm trying to say. And I don't think Kyle hates Trey. I don't think they're going to trade Trey. I think that they're going to try to keep all three of those quarterbacks as insurance. And just look what happened last season as for why teams need to be thinking that deep at the quarterback position. So what do you think about all that, Ronbo?
Well, I think you're spot on. And I also think that if you're going to make a deal for Trey, it can't be this year anyway. What are you going to get for him? Nobody knows exactly what he's capable of doing as of yet.
Right.
So if the 49ers are going to get out there and try to market him, try to make sure that he does the right things and gets them done, healthy is a thing. But the 4-quarterback thing, Tony, and they brushed past that subject. I understand there was some conversation about getting that added quarterback, but the NFL should be extremely interested in making sure the product is of its highest quality out there. And why they wouldn't allow this or even talk about it is amazing. And maybe it's not done yet.
Well, yeah, I 100% agree with you, Ronbo. Also, so the emergency quarterback votes, they tabled the vote to the next round of owners' meetings. So it's going to get brought up again. And I agree with you, Ronbo. It is in the NFL's best interest to allow that 54th spot to be a quarterback because of, and again, look at the 49ers. I remember in the early 2000s when we still had Elvis Grbac on the roster, there was a game where the Niners were down to Jeff Brom as the emergency quarterback, because back then they had the emergency quarterback rule. Yeah. These things happen from time to time, and we don't want to see a repeat of what happened in the NFC title game. Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to vote on it at the next owners meeting, and I'm really hoping that the league does pass that rule. It's also, it's in the player's best interest too, because at the end of the day, it allows for an extra roster spot for a quarterback. And think about it from a coaching perspective too. If you have that emergency quarterback who is sort of a quarterback coach in training, you could have like an advanced career quarterback, you're like your Phillip Rivers type person who is over the hill, but who could play some snaps, and then who might be able to coach later on. It could be an on-ramp to that. I see only upside with allowing some sort of rule to allow an emergency quarterback that does not, affect roster slots.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be great.
Because Tony, I don't understand any kind of argument that can be brought against such a proposal. This is why I'm saying that's got to be done. Come on, guys, that's got to be done. There's no reason for not. So, Tony, always good stuff. I'll be back Friday if you got time. I know you're busy, man.
Gonna do my best. I've been crazy busy, but I'll do my best, sir.
All right, thanks, Tony. Talk to you later.
Aloha.
Aloha. Tony. Chris said Grbac wasn't on the team. No, but he was. Grbac was. Where was Grbac? Was it end of '80s?
Cardinals y'all relevant. Rams y'all a joke. Seahawks, why y'all throw the ball at the 1 yard line? That was a huge choke. Ronbo, I wasn't gonna miss out tonight. I
was worried about that. We called you a couple of times. Where's Jalen? Because JD's in there going wild. Rudy's come in and lied. Y'all gave up 3 first-round picks. Rudy, we switched picks. That's not considered giving it up. We switched positions in that first year, and we get 2 years. This is our last year without a first-round pick. Read more, Rudy, and stop posting. Okay, go ahead.
Man, Ronbo, none of all these quarterback problems that we having right now. Sam Darnold, are we gonna get him? Purdy gonna be all right. Trey gonna be all right. We still having quarterback problems going into year 7, about to be year 8. And all of this could have been avoided if A, we would have took Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, or B, we would have took Justin Fields at 3 instead of a project. But Kyle had to be Kyle, had his ego in the way, and he thought that Kirk Cousins was gonna come in 2018, and he thought that he would be able to turn Trey Lance into Josh Allen. But he wasn't able to do either, and now we're still wondering
Who's
going
going to be
into Trey
quarterback?
Lance's third year.
Jalen,
Yeah, how
before you go
good he
beyond that
is.
point, before you go to that point, remember, Shanahan has been one. Once Gail Sayers a long time ago says, "Give me 6 inches of daylight, and that's all I need." Kyle Shanahan says, "Just give me a defense, I'll take care of the offense." I
Yeah,
just Kyle,
yeah,
it can't always be about you. Get a
yeah,
quality
Ronbo.
QB and stop with this.
He's had a chance, Ronbo. I mean, this man has had multiple. If he hasn't had multiple top 3 picks or top 5 picks, he's had 2 picks in the first round twice in his regime, and he's only hit on at least maybe 2 first-round picks out of the possibly 8 he's had. I mean, that's not like we still don't know what Trey is. Devon is a bust, and McGlinchey I don't want to come in here and just be just all negative
Well, no,
for
the
Rombo,
thing is,
man.
'cause,
Like we
every team
coming in
has.
here,
Well, every team has that
we
problem.
come in here, Rombo, we keep talking about quarterback problem every year, and it's the same stuff every year.
Next year, it'll be quarterback problem again. I've gotten used to it. I'm expecting it.
But we shouldn't even be in this position, Rombo. The man hit the 3rd pick in the draft, and he could have took Deshaun or Mahomes, and he didn't do anything. He wanted Kirk Cousins, and then he had a chance to take Justin Fields, Rombo. Hell, he didn't even have to trade up, Rombo. He could have got Justin Fields at 13, probably. He didn't get picked till like what, 12?
Or Mac Jones.
Didn't he get picked at like 12?
Yeah. But Mac Jones was his other draft crush.
Rombo. Kyle. Look at that, Rombo. That's literally a waste of picks. Nobody at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 touched Justin Fields.
But
he was going to be there.
It's a shot in the dark. The draft is always a shot in the dark. Who knew Brock Purdy could play the way he played? And no matter what anybody says about him, at the last pick in the draft was going out there operating that offense. That's not supposed to happen.
Now once again, Rombo, the 49ers story. We're rushing back, and we're trying to get back to health the quarterback. It was with Jimmy, now it's with Brock, now it's with Trey. It's like the 49er initiation to get on the team is you got to go through at least 1 season of rehab or something. Like this has to stop. Like every quarterback we've had has some type of gruesome injury or get some type of injury that'll slow them down.
Riding the truck off the field. It's just, man.
It's like, Rombo, it got to stop. I blame McGlinchey for it personally, for Jimmy getting hurt, because God knows he got a lot of guys hurt. I blame that right side for more. It was McGlinchey, Rombo. You go back and you look at some of those plays where these quarterbacks got hit. The pressure was either coming from his side or it was a block missed on his side. McGlinchey, I'm glad he's gone. I really am.
Well,
I'm glad he's gone.
People were getting by him no matter. The guys that weigh half his weight. And what's his name? Put a hip throw on him in Dallas. Well, that embarrassed the entire Night Empire. The lights went off in the whole community immediately for about 30 seconds. Ooh, that was embarrassing.
I just want to know when we're just gonna finally get this man Kyle Shanahan. We're gonna finally start, holding him accountable for some of this stuff that's been happening. Rombo, I get the injuries, I get the quarterback play hasn't been the best, but Rombo, the excuses got to stop. He's had a chance to make us 3 8-time Super Bowl champions. We're in the 2 NFC championships in the Super Bowl. We should be 8-time champs right now under his regime, but yet we've lost each time, and we want to give him an excuse to say, somebody was hurt or
Trey, actually 9
we dropped
times.
the pick.
Because it lost that one too.
I'm talking about Shanahan, just Shanahan himself.
I'm just counting them all up where we could be.
Yeah, we could be 9-time champs, but Rombo, we always got excuses. The greatest don't make excuses, Rombo. MJ didn't make an excuse when he had the flu when he played that game. Mahomes wasn't making an excuse when his ankle was hanging off his leg and he was playing in that Super Bowl. Every time something bad happens with the 49ers in a big game, we had a quarterback, or You know, if Jimmy wanted to go in there with a bad shoulder and was one wobbling in, we always make excuses, Rombo. I mean, the best don't need excuses. They just get the job done every time. And what has Kyle done 3 times in a row? I mean, he hasn't got it done. Mike Shanahan Jr. I'm telling you, Rombo. What if we gave Chip Kelly and Jim Tom Sula these teams? How would they look? We don't know. They were one and done. Why wasn't Kyle? I never understood that. I mean, we've seen Kyle with 2 bad teams, and he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, Jenny, it's gonna be hard though. You know, this is the kind of Andy Reid took until he got to Kansas City. He was a big winning coach, but he just couldn't get past.
I mean, Rombo, look at how we look at Jimmy. We said, all right, Jimmy, we thank you for what you did. You weren't our franchise quarterback, but what you did here was important. Why can't we say, all right, Kyle, you brought our team back relevant. You did what you did. But maybe you just aren't the coach that's going to give us that ring. Maybe you got to go. Why aren't we saying that to Kyle, but we said that to Jimmy?
Well, we're gonna find out. We'll find out. Kyle's got to. Let's see what happens in the next 2 years. Jed may decide.
2 years, Rombo. It's going to be 10.
Jalen,
are you serious, Rombo?
I'm thinking, Jalen.
Are you serious?
If
he don't win a ring in 10 years, Rombo, we need help.
Get ready for this, Jalen. You know what Jed said the other day? Sometimes you have to make mistakes before you can win that Super Bowl. So, you know, I'm telling you, Jalen, brace yourself.
I don't think I can handle any more of this. But you know what I can handle us? I can handle us being the kings of the West. I can handle J&D smelling on that donkey pest. And I can worry about Rudy crying because we're going to always do that West. Let me get a 9 shout out, Rombo.
Man, Jalen.
Nick Mullins beat the Raiders on national TV, too. I ain't going to forget that. That was the 3rd string quarterback. Beat y'all on national TV. First game of his career.
Jalen, always a pleasure. We'll see you Friday, all right? Oh, man. Lorenzo, man, we ain't talked to you in how long, man? Get in here.
Since the Niners lost that game, it's last time. Boy, I've been balling, boy.
I tell you, man, especially in the way we lost, Lorenzo. I got my quarterback laying in the dirt, seeing stars, man. And he was the 4th string quarterback, and now they beat his ass. And now I got him out there snapping the ball and wildcatting and doing everything else. And Eagle fans say, y'all wasn't going to win that game no how. What? Oh.
Yeah, you got these fans, I didn't have no excuses. Fuck that. Shut the fuck up, you know?
God.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you wonder if they're watching the same game you are, you know? Like, really?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think fully healthy Purdy's probably the guy to go with, you know? Fuck 8-0. What do you? I mean, 8-1, I guess. You know.
Yeah, he's
coming out the gate. Just coming out the gate. And Trey, I don't know. I haven't really seen a whole lot out of him, you know. But he's 500, you know. Again.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the sample size we got from Trey didn't really give us a real indication of anything we can actually, good or bad.
Yeah, he's not polished though. You can watch him. He's not a polished quarterback, you know.
Yeah.
I hope he's just serviceable and you get something from him, you know. But I don't, start against him and Brock healthy. I don't think so.
Well, he's lost 2 years. Now, that means he would need to sign another contract. Because, honestly, I think it would take Trey 2 seasons minimum to work with the team he's got right now. I don't know how many of those guys going to be left on that team in 2 years, though. So if you think about where he's at, where the team's at, it's not a real good fit. We have to wait and see what it looks like in camp. Maybe Trey's made some advances we don't know about yet.
Yeah. Well, people got to forget about those 3 picks. Hey, look, we fucked up, you know. What are you gonna do, you know?
No, a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams do that.
Yeah, I mean it happened. Okay,
all the time.
Get over it. Just move on. Yeah,
that's what the draft is. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I didn't really like it myself, just back at the time, just because I had that little experience at that school. Shit.
And 2. first round picks. We switched the first round pick with Miami that year, but 2 years. Oh, I just kept saying, I hope this works.
Yeah, you hope, but then it's like, well, he got hurt. Fucking, when Jimmy was here, fucking injury prone. But then we've been to what, Super Bowl, to champion. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. I kind of tuned in. I listened, but I've been listening a little bit. A few weeks after again. I'm like, God,
good, Lorenzo. It's soothing. You got to come back and. But see, that's the thing. I said, we got rid of. Moving on from Jimmy because Jimmy gets hurt, and then we get this strong stud out of North Dakota where it's freezing even in the summer. And he comes in and gets hurt right away. See, I've been telling people for years, guys, it's football. There's no hiding. There's no such thing as invulnerable to injury unless you're DeForest Buckner, who never gets hurt, which is amazing. And we got rid of him. Got rid of him, Lorenzo. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Go.
320 pounds of muscle getting a hold of you, shit.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's kind of unrealistic, a lot of it, what people see and all that. But kind of, at least sometimes I re-listen to these, fast forward some of this. But yeah, I think team's pretty good. I think, I'm not a Trey hater, but I hope he beats out Darnold. At least he'll tell us something. He shows out or something.
At least in the draft, picks will be missing the first round. It makes sense. And they try to set up Trey to get him open.
But I don't see it happening. I really don't. And you want to win now, not 2 years from now.
That's true.
So, but I like Purdy. I like what they did on defense.
Yeah, that Hargrave.
Nick and that. Oh my God.
Oh, that's gonna make a difference.
Yeah. I think Drake will probably come along this year.
He got worn out last year, Lorenzo. Wasn't taking his vitamins or something. I don't know. But he got tired.
He's probably a young guy, right?
He is.
He's a young guy. So.
And just got out of school last year. Didn't get to train properly in the off season. So this year's getting a chance to properly train.
Yeah. Another year with Nick, shit, he'll be all right. I think.
What do you think?
I think that could be good. Yeah, just the quarterback question, and everybody's saying, "Oh, I knew this." I'll tell you what. Lorenzo's probably the only ones in America that called Jimmy coming back last year.
Lorenzo, you're right because I didn't see it coming. Jimmy's over there in the other field being ignored. Nobody paid him no mind. The only reason he's over there is because we couldn't get him out of here before now because he got hurt or he had an operation. I did not imagine re-signing Jimmy and bringing him in. Didn't see it.
Yeah. As soon as I heard that, my friend, he was from Green Bay, sending me these things about Jimmy's going. I said, he's not going anywhere.
Same here.
Jimmy is going to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers next year's Super Bowl. That's what I told him. Because you're fucking crazy.
I heard that from others.
I'll bet you. Then he sure enough, he goes, you called it.
Shocking.
And, I think I was the only one singing "Ooh La La."
No.
17-0 against the Rams.
I'm a huge Jimmy fan. In fact, when we were rolling 5 games in a row, I said, you know what? If we could keep Jimmy standing up on 2 twigs, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. No doubt about it, and we will win this time. Bam! Oh, God! Jesus! I was sick.
Christ.
Damn it.
Man.
So anyway, Brock did a good job.
Damn.
We hope, right?
I'm
Took
sorry,
me 2 weeks to say,
but,
maybe. So, Anyway.
And I think Jim, I guess I got to watch other than Niner football. I guess I got to watch some Raider football now,
Just see how he does.
My brother, I got 2 brothers that are Raiders fans.
Everybody's got a Raider. If you're any friend of the West Coast, everybody got a Raider fan in their family. I have one Dallas Cowboys fan, and he lives in Texas, a relative. We don't talk much, but fam, let me, Rizzo, good to hear from you again. I'll be back Friday. I hope you got time since you're getting over the The trauma.
Yeah, just a little shell shock for a while. Yeah, I was like, "No, I don't even want to look at it." I could say that I didn't even know nothing for about a month. I think it was. I was like, "Screw that, man."
It's best.
I
Get
felt
over it.
sick to my damn stomach, man.
I know. It
But,
sucks.
all right, but I was, I was confident when they, the year after they draft Alex Smith. If you're a Niners fan, you get behind whoever.
You're supposed to be confident. Rizzo, we really got to go. But I'll tell you what, I'll look for you Friday. All right, fam. Have a good night.
All right. Yeah, you have a good night. Niners.
You too.
Later. Bye.
Bye. Here he comes. I mean, Tony, one of Phil's best buddies. Tony.
Mr. Phillips. Chill, Phil. First week you called us. What do you call us, Ronbo? These people are taking idiot pills.
He did say something like that because I was shocked. Wow,
and then
Phil.
last week he singles out 3 people, myself, Papa Dragon, and Big Show. Phil, let me put it to you this way, brother. If you want to keep pissing in Kyle Shanahan's pocket to keep him warm and fuzzy, that's your prerogative, my friend. Right? But when you start calling people out, and a man at your age, born in the 60s, you should be heading towards statesmanship, not acting like a child, my friend. And in regards to Kyle Shanahan, Phil, if you're happy with mediocre and just making it to the playoffs every year, well, that's your prerogative as well, because opinions are like assholes, Phil. Everybody's got one. All right. Now, to call the man great, I mean, Ronbo, George Seifert won 2 Super Bowls and they sacked him.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yep.
There were coaches that won every Super Bowl that they ever entered. Phil, what has Kyle done since Atlanta? He's pissed 2 Super Bowls down the drain, that's for sure. All right? So I don't want to be ringing up Ronbo when I'm 75 and going, Ronbo, are you still alive, man? Yeah. We still haven't won a Super Bowl, bro.
Oh, it's really getting there, and the window is slowly closing.
So he's not great. He's a good offensive play coordinator. And, that's to call him great is an insult to the people that are great. For crying out loud, Phil. Bloody Pete the Cheat's got more accolades than Kyle Shanahan.
Ooh,
right?
Because
so is
Pete's got
McVay.
1 Super Bowl. That's true.
That's right. McVay's got one.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
And that really bothers me because that's what unleashed Rudy. Oh man.
And great. We've got a sick ass, and don't worry about our offensive line. Really? Didn't we get smacked in the mouth by the same team that didn't get 1 sack in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs? And you call our offensive line good? Shanahan's side of the ball has never been addressed since he got here. Right? And did you see John Lynch when I asked him about the quarterback thing, Ronbo? He threw Shanahan under the bus and said, "Oh no, that's Kyle's
decisions."
domain. I'm not touching that." And management said to him, "Do whatever you're going to do this year, boys, but we want a game changer."
Yeah, that was Jed York. They'll go spend my money
ownership,
on an average
not
player.
Ownership said to him, "We want a game changer." So Kyle's been tapped on the shoulder, and as far as I'm concerned, this is his last year. Come on, enough's enough.
Tony, I just realized something. You amplified on something that I didn't get the full depth of what Jed meant by saying, don't bring me back an average player. In other words, Jed has seen enough players come back that were just average players, and I'm not paying for that. Get me somebody in here. And then we didn't got Hargrave, right? They just, it's like your mom. Mom, can I get your credit card? For what? I want to go to the department store and get blah, blah, blah. Listen, I don't want you, if I get a bill that I don't appreciate, you just don't unwrap it until I get my bill. This is the kind of thing, So if Jed they bring back some trash, just say, I'm paying for that? I don't think so. Cut him. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to get sick of it as well. I mean, if it was the Bartolo, would Shanahan still be around?
That's a good question. It really is. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because Eddie didn't wait. That's true. Walsh didn't wait. They didn't have there was no waiting in those days. They got rid of people. Even if you were a good ball player, if you're getting a little older, we're gonna make that move now before it's too late. Whoa.
We want to look, as the saying goes, Ronbo, coaches come and go. The 49er logo stays the same.
Yeah,
right? And that's what
true.
I follow. I follow that logo. I don't follow Kyle Shanahan. Right? And Phil, to come out and say that you, the guru Phil, right, know more football than myself, Big Show, and Papa Dragon put together, that's a bit rich, brother, don't you think?
Yeah.
But anyway, enough of Phil. Phil can sort it out for himself. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion just like everybody else, but we are also entitled to a reply. That part of it.
And you did great, Tony. Tony, we got a little over a minute. What is your quick assessment of the quarterback situation? Sam Darnold versus Trey Lance. Brock Purdy's not involved just yet. What are you thinking?
My assessment is that Kyle doesn't want to touch something he doesn't know anything about, and that's Trey Lance, which is extremely unfair. He's straight away gone for the old Kyle Shanahan trick. Let's go with the hot hand. We'll go with Purdy. But we don't know yet, because if Donald beats them both out, maybe he won't start either of them. Maybe he'll start Donald.
Huh?
Who knows with that bloke, Ronbo?
Yeah.
Right? You don't know whether he's coming or going.
Yeah,
he doesn't even know himself. All he wants to do is keep his job there, it seems. And doing enough is getting paid. Well, doing enough just doesn't cut the mustard anymore. We want a Super Bowl, and we want it yesterday. Not now, yesterday. And so this year's the year. I mean, the team's looking good, like the previous gentleman said.
And the division is there to be taken, so there's no need to be worried about getting into the playoffs.
The division's there to be taken, but we have to focus, like I said to you before. It happened to us this year, right? To win those easy games and just be happy about it. When you come up against the big guns, that's when you got to shine. That's when you have to shine. And Kyle seems to put on the adult nappy on in the fourth quarter of playoffs and Super Bowls and takes a dump in it and loses a game.
And I fully agree. Tell you, we're gonna have to keep going on this. We gotta wait till Friday. And I'm glad you got your shot in it, Phil. He'll be back at you. You know that by Friday too.
It doesn't matter, mate. It's all part of the show, isn't it?
And it's just too much fun. So I'll see you Friday.
All right, brother. Shout out to Big Papa Dragon and Big Show and the rest of the Empire, and see you in the next chapter.
Looking forward to it, Tony. Good day, fam.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
There goes Tony. And Pop, I knew that was coming. You actually, Big Show and Tony both said, you're having a show today? They couldn't wait to get back in there. Phil loves it, though. Yo, Elissa.
Ronbo, can you come right back to me next fall?
We can do that. All right. And dun 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 Sabor Santana.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing?
Santana, man, we sit back here because tripping like you know how we do each and every year at the same time before the season gets started. The quarterback is always this thing, you know. The 49ers should have a reality TV show like the Kardashians, starting in
Oh, dude, they
February. You know,
definitely should.
no, because it's gonna be the
There's
same
always
thing
drama every season.
every damn
Every
year.
season, man.
God,
And it's always good, too.
always.
You know what I'm saying?
It's always dramatic.
It's always good, but Ronbo. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And it gets tiring and it's just annoying at this point now. Like we're into the going into the seventh season with this front office, and it's the same thing. We have no quarterback,
And it has a lot to do
we
with
have
that.
no starter.
Why we don't have a championship. You cannot keep switching that position year after year. Get somebody in there, let him get his feet firmly. I mean, he's got to get connected with, especially got everybody else on offenses together. Get connected, develop that cohesiveness. Now they know each other and they become not a unit, but they become one. We don't. When are we going to do that? We're never going to do it.
We're never gonna do that, Ronbo. Like it's just I'm just tired of it, man. You know, Ronbo. You know, it's just amazing to me, man. That's year 7 and we still don't have a quarterback. It's crazy. Everybody else has a quarterback.
Get ready for year 8 too.
Everybody's going into the offseason with their starting quarterback.
They've had for years.
But we're still, and we're still here with the same thing. Is it going to be Brock Purdy? Is it Trey Lance? Is it Darnold? Who is it going to be? And honestly, Ronbo, you know, and then, you know, people are, you know, I've watched a little couple of videos of different content creators talking about the 49ers, and they'll have they took whatever Kyle and John have said in the media or whatever, and talking about how they think they're gonna trade Trey and they're gonna keep Darnold and Purdy, and I'm like, dude, if they do that, Ronbo, Jed needs to really pack Kyle and John Lynch bag and send them away, because if they're really gonna trade Trey to keep Sam Darnold, that is a fumble interception machine. That is crazy, Ronbo. That is crazy. And not only that, on top of that, to think that Brock Purdy is going to come back and 100% think that he's going to be the same quarterback, it's crazy to me. If they do trade, you know, Lance, or if they're even thinking about trading Trey Lance.
Santana always made it in my mind. It's going to take Purdy a year to look like he did
this
this past season.
Yes, it is.
No doubt about it.
You know, and it's just amazing. You know, it's just crazy to think that they might even trade. If they're even thinking that, that's crazy, Ronbo. Because at the end of the day, man, Trey Lance. I know a lot of people don't like Trey Lance, you know, but to me, I see Brock Purdy, and it's like, okay, it's been 8 games, but he looked super average against the Cowboys, and that wasn't that legit defense, you know. He looked super average with all the weapons he had, right? And like I said, not to mention the interception he could have thrown. People don't bring that up because they were not intercepted, right? But, you know, look at Mac Jones. When he came out of his rookie year, he looked great with the Patriots. Look what happened his second year. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look that great. He got benched.
Yeah.
He got benched. So I'm not gonna take, you know, if the Niners are really gonna take 8 games, like John Lynch said, you know, Brock Purdy's the guy. If they're really gonna take that, I just don't trust them to be the, you know, to make any decisions in the quarter for the, you know, for the franchise of this team, or who's going to be the quarterback. Because that's crazy to think that out of 8 games, you guys are going to go fully 100% on Brock Purdy coming off an injury is just crazy. Not even give Trey Lance a chance. That's even crazier, you know. And I mean, when Trey Lance started, I think he played 4 games with the Niners. He never had, you know, all the weapons around him. He never had one guy, you know, it was either George Kittle missing or George or Debo missing, or maybe, you know, like 1 or 2 other guys missing every single time he played. And the one time he did have everybody played was against the Texans, and he won that game. Obviously, he struggled in the first couple quarters, but after he kind of got into rhythm, he looked better in the second half.
You mean a few dazzling plays, yeah. So
I mean, you know, it's just frustrating, Ronbo. You know, same thing. We come back every offseason and we're talking about the quarterback instead of like, I don't know, something else.
Yeah. Annual event.
You know, and you know what, Ronbo, and I kind of blame Kyle Shanahan too, because I feel like I'm just done with Kyle Shanahan because I feel he puts his scheme first over players, you know, over talent. And sometimes, you know, his scheme is good and it works, but he just doesn't add, you know, the human aspect of the game, you know. So sometimes, you know, maybe a guy might be injured, he might not make the right block or something. And
plays
and
break
we haven't
down
won.
too. And when players break down,
exactly.
and your quarterback's not used to knowing what to do. Because I seen that with Jimmy all the time. When I seen Jimmy getting sacked and some of the things that happened, I said, you know what? That comes from being so rigid with running that offense.
Yeah.
If somebody didn't run a route right,
Yep.
If somebody gets held up by the defender, if something goes wrong, the play collapses. Whose fault is it? Jimmy's fault. You guys, you know what? You guys need to study a play.
Yep.
That's not what happened. Jimmy fell into a victim situation in that one. So
exactly. We see Kyle in the press conference, man. He said that they don't execute. This is why we didn't maybe win because the execution wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I do.
And
let that
so
quarterback get himself out of that mess. That's how come he's a pro quarterback. Let him do it.
Exactly. And a perfect example too, Ronbo. Look, when Trey was playing, he looked horrible when it was a design play. When it was designed for him to run, he looked horrible. He got sacked hard.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was when it wasn't designed, he moved naturally in the pocket and made bigger plays. If you watch his games, if you watch his replays of the games that he actually played, when he had the chance
I remember the plays. He rolled out to the right position on his own. You could tell he went to a spot and where he knew the defense couldn't get him. Not they gave him by time, right? I'm saying,
exactly.
Cal probably looked and says, "Listen, what I want you to do is you did the right thing, but stop short of that. Look downfield. I already know what kind of instruction he's getting. Kyle. Okay." Just let him do it sometimes. Let him learn.
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. And another thing that frustrates me too, man, is it's been 5 or 6 years that we've been talking about we're a winning team. We're a win now team. We can't give Trey Lance a chance because we're a win team now. Ronbo, what have we won? We've been saying the same thing over and over every year, and we haven't won anything.
Not championships, but the thing is, those veterans on the team, see, what happens is, Santana, when you go as far as the 49ers have, and you were 3 out of 4 years and you're in the mix, that's considered winning because most teams aren't doing that, right? So the veterans on the team feel like they're just that close. So you got to keep that energy the same. So that's why
I don't want to hear that, Ronbo, because the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and they were the third team in the league that had the most rookies on the field. So,
well, yeah, but
I don't know. The veterans need to.
But they were still winning.
Step up, bro.
Yeah, they're still winning, and you still have Kelsey.
Because of Patrick Mahomes.
You had Tyreek Hill. You had several guys out there that were.
No, now I'm talking about last year. I'm talking about last year. They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the third most rookies out on the field, and it wasn't scheme. It was a quarterback called Patrick Mahomes. But we're trying to win a Super Bowl with the scheme, and it's been 5 years and we haven't won shit. So
and Patrick Mahomes has a green light to go for it, and that's one of the bigger differences too. Santana, this is a subject that we can go hours on. Let me see you Friday. Good to hear from you again.
All right, Ronbo. Nice to hey, you have a good one, Ronbo.
You too, fam. Good to hear from you.
All right, see you.
And it's check back with Ellis. Yo, Ellis. Ellis, maybe still. All right, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I said, we're
ready to go.
We're wondering what happened at the owners' meeting, and other than McVay sitting back there behind Lynch. Was that Lynch or was that Shanahan? We saw McVay sitting back in the back with the lights barely on, conducting his interview. I mean, Kyle had John had two.
He had some glasses on.
Yeah,
a listening device or two on him. Some high-tech listening devices and shit on him. Dirty bastard.
I mean, you watch Lynch Shanahan. There's all kind of guys circling around him. I mean, they're handing him stuff and plugging wires and everything. McVay sit back at the table. I'm John McVay. Yeah. Anybody have anything you want to ask me? Go ahead, Ellis.
Nah, I mean, you know, it was expected that you know, they was going to say, you know, that they feel that Brock earned the starting spot. I mean, he came in and won 8 games straight. He looked more comfortable than your usual guy, and you know, it's one of those situations, man. And I keep saying it. You know, Trey was just kind of put in a he was dealt a really good hand with a bad hand at the same time. So, you know, he's gonna have to put in the work, man. He's got to take it. You know, if he wants to start, he's gonna have to take it. You know, and that means off season, preseason, and the beginning and the start of regular season. He's gonna need to get that first spot. Not let Sam Darnold with 61 touchdowns and 55 interceptions in his career so far. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay,
Is that right? That many?
There's no way that guy should. Man, go look up his numbers. Okay, everybody's talking about there's going to be a competition or you know all this other shit. I don't care what inexperience Trey has. He better not let nobody who came in with those kind of numbers take the spot away from him. So you know he's going to need to put the work in because systematically, if Darnold could come in and fulfill Kyle's needs in his own mind and the way he simulates things, then, you know, it's not really going to matter what his past was. I'm only saying that because there's no way that Trey should allow him to come in and have, you know, and get and remove him from that spot. You know, Darnold should be the third string quarterback, if nothing else. And, you know, it's going to be up to Trey to make sure that he comes in. You know, we got he's got a schedule. He's got his work cut out for him. And, you know, I always say it. I've been a Trey guy, but I'm a Niner first. You know what I mean? I've been that since, you know, I was 8 years old. So, you know, I'm about, you know, who's the best guy for us. And that's kind of the way that Kyle and John are operating. And I get it, man. It's like I said, it's to be expected. You know, I'm not surprised. But again, how is Brock going to come back in after that injury? It's going to take him some time to get back to his normal self, to get that fluidity, the comfort, you know, and adjust to his arm strength, you know, and his throwing ability and things like that. It's not. I highly doubt it's going to be. You know, they said 3 months. I think it's going to be more along the 6 month minimum, if not, and up to 8 months. I think it'll take up to 8 months for him to get back to a really sound space within himself. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some things that he's just not going to be able to do right away. So, I mean, they're talking about week 4, potentially him not coming back. I'm thinking like week, you know, 6 or 7-ish. You know what I mean? Just to be able to come back in fully healthy and at full strength. They're saying he'll be able to throw a little bit sooner, but I don't know, man. It's kind of shaky because they put something in his arm and they did all this extra. It's not just your usual kind of injury, you know what I mean? And you know, there's some guys who don't make it. They were talking about. I was listening to something today where they're talking about Marcus Mariota, all the guys that came back, all the quarterbacks that had really like crazy injuries that came back and were never the same. Their entire career, they just never been the same. Carson Wentz. You know, Marcus Mariota was one, and there was like 3 or 4 or maybe 5 other quarterbacks, and it just makes sense, man. You know, the injuries are very serious, and depending on what it is, you know, that could be, you know, that could be almost like the end for some people. And I don't know anybody. They said Josh Allen had a similar elbow injury, but who's outside of Nick Mullins had that kind of injury that we saw come back and really go crazy still? Do we know of anyone?
I can't think of it. In fact, I'd forgotten Nick had that procedure as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, and his I don't think was expensive. It's Brock's. I know he had the procedure, but I don't think he got the additional hardware or whatever put into his arm on top of that.
Yeah, it was walking
so,
around.
You know, I think Brock's was a little more severe even, if I'm not mistaken.
RoboCop setup. No, it was different. So,
yeah.
You know, those doctors, when they make those kind of prognostications, I always, you know, how many experience? This doctor's the best that there is at it, and maybe he knows what he means or talking about. But then again, you never know. The human body's not one that can actually be. Actually, you can't predict exactly what's going to happen. You just figure it should be the case. It's like people who have ACLs and things like that. Mentally, doctors have told guys Achilles, that area is stronger now than it was before you tore it. The person who's owning that leg doesn't think so. And he goes out there and he favors it and he's worried about it. He's scared. The fear factor takes over. So that's why this is what the test is going to be. Is he going to believe that he's okay? So.
Yeah, and it's not 100%. That's what I'm saying. You know, we got to look at the percentages and all that. We have to go. You know, we have to look at. You know, what's the possibility that he comes back and just, you know, like nothing ever happened. It's not really that high, though it is, you know, because of how successful it was. That's, you know, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I'm hopeful that Brock can come back because we need that depth, and you know we need to be able to have that comfort. I mean, we can all be honest here. When we saw Brock come in, some of us might have been like, okay, cool. I honestly thought it was over.
I did too. The following week,
went down, I said,
man, damn. And then 2 weeks later,
it's over.
Well, maybe. Third week, okay.
Yeah.
Fourth week, well, maybe we got this, and we did. So we got lucky.
Each week got better.
Yeah.
Right. And shout out to Santana. He was making some valid points.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's, you know, kind of messed up how, you know, just things are kind of getting played out right now, the stuff with Trey. And, you know, it's a what have you done for me lately type world, not just, you know, sport that we're playing. That's how kind of like the world is. Not saying that it's fair and not every single person operates that way, but that's kind of like just the societal mind state. And, you know, and it's for, in certain cases, it's for that reason, you know. So Trey has to come. He's got to come ready and prepared. You know, I know he doesn't get the. I mean, look at Jordan Love. Jordan Love's got a lot of, you know, been sitting the bench for a while. Now he's getting his opportunity. You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Fam, we got to go though. And Friday, we'll see
that's all good.
What Kyle says next. Him and John don't seem to realize they've got to wait to say these things. They're premature in what they said to begin with, probably. But anyway, all right, fam.
Yeah.
Always appreciate you, Ellis.
Yeah.
We can't have a show without
Yeah,
Ellis.
yeah.
But,
thank you, Sam. I appreciate it, man. Much love and appreciation for you as always. Shout out to the production.
And
shout out to the faithful out there.
All right.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that. I'll let them know. You said what's up, and
all right.
You know,
all right, Ellis. We'll see you
make
Friday.
Sure you wipe your feet, Rudy. Wipe your feet.
No,
wipe your feet, man.
Rudy's still standing outside. He's not getting in here. I'm thinking about Rudy's such a fool. All right. That Ellis.
You know, he climbs up. He comes from underground like the groundhogs and shit. You know what I mean? So he's got to get dusted off. Dust your ass all the way off. All right, I'm going.
That Ellis. Oh God! By the way, if you want to watch Rudy get beat up, come and join me on Twitter. Yes, I punched him out so many times. Now we got a whole committee working his ass. Rudy just keeps coming though. You ready for some Latino heat? Latino heat! Latino heat! Emilio!
Hey, what's up, Luke?
Emilio, man, you know, it's just, you know, same old song and dance. It's a routine, Emilio. It's become a routine. So, you know, man, I didn't know what they was thinking because I was kind of surprised. In fact, I was shocked. I'm going to tell you the truth. When John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, owners meeting, they came out. I don't know why I'm shocked because Kyle did this last year and the year before. Yeah, well, quarterback, no, last year, the year before last. Well, there's no decision's been made yet as who the starter is going to be. What? And now this year, we ain't fooling with y'all this year. Quarterback one is Brock Purdy. It's his job when he gets back. Okay, but we got a thing going on between Trey. I mean, Emilio, what did you make of all that?
No, I mean, they're right. Purdy did deserve the number one spot. He came in, he won 8 games, he got the NFC Championship, then turned out how he did. I mean, he's right. There's no way around it. I mean, but as of now, it's just that's what it is. But when you look at it, Trey is going to be the starting quarterback week 1.
Okay.
Depending on the situation, how Purdy turns out, it just be crazy if Purdy's ready the start of week 1. Then yeah, you go with Purdy. But I don't. That's hard just to see in itself because he's not ready, and like Ellie just said, it's going to take longer than what everybody thought.
I mean, we all think that.
As of now, like I said, that's why I say Trey's going to start. And it's kind of retarded. I was going to ask you that. I was like, do you got – because I've seen people really say Sam Darnold's going to start. I don't understand for the why of me and for the hell of why. Dude has 90 fumbles and interceptions combined in 56 games, and you guys want that man to start? I don't care what team he was on. They've won worse than quarterbacks and had those kind of stats. That's just bad. I don't even get that. Talk about Trey Purdy. Donald's gonna start over Trey. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if that's what you guys want, then I don't want you guys complaining like Jalen coming on here talking about we suck. Get rid of Shanahan again. I'm like, we're gonna have that guy, that kind of mess with my dude. I can tell Jalen hasn't seen shit when it comes to his Niners. This dude keeps complaining, and even when it comes to Big Shot, you guys are complaining way too much. I haven't seen nothing as bad as we've seen. This is. I still tell people those 5 years that you guys were complaining about Chip Kelly and Tom Sula. That is nothing. we won a couple of games out of that. There were a couple of times we were competitive in some of those games
to understand pain.
Yeah, go through that. That was horrible. And we've always had quarterback controversy way before Joe. With White, Tittle. It's just been, we've had quarterback controversy for years. It doesn't matter, 2 quarterbacks at a time, 3 quarterbacks at a time. So it's never ending. There's guys that didn't like Joe. There's guys that didn't like
it says something about the organization, though, Emilio, because we still got 5 championships and should have 7 minimum. So we in there. The 49ers are still tough.
No, we should. No, I do believe we should have won one of the Super Bowls with Shanahan. Even maybe the Super Bowl with Harbaugh. But it is what we lost.
We're standing right there. We're standing right there to win the game. It's not like we're getting our ass kicked. No. We're standing right there. Take it. No.
It happened.
Stars just weren't aligned.
So if you look at the Bills went to 4 Super Bowls straight and didn't win that one.
Now that's the saddest story in football history.
So it just happened. Like you said earlier, Reed had some hell of a teams when he was with the Eagles. Had T.O. at one point, had McNabb, and couldn't win the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Then he gets with the Chiefs. Now he has 2 Super Bowls. I'm like, dude, sometimes coaches can be amazing, can be Hall of Fame coaches, and just can't get, like players, quarterbacks can't get over the hump. It is what it is. You can't expect these dudes these teams just to win. I'm like
Super Bowl's a different beast, Emilio.
Of course I want one.
Of course, but Super Bowl's a different beast than the regular season. Even the playoffs, the Super Bowl's a whole other story. So it's that it takes a certain amount of magic to win that game. If they make that Super Bowl 2 out of 3, maybe it ain't gonna come up. But one game, that's tough. That's why I got respect for that.
Our bad luck. We looked at it against the Rams. It was, you could say, Jimmy Ward didn't get that interception. We didn't get another shot to try to win the game. And then you look at this one with Purdy. He got injured. It just stuff like that. It just happens. What can you do with the Eagles? So it's just what can you do? It is what it is. You just have to accept it.
You can't blame Kyle Shanahan.
I know it pisses all off, but
that's why the broken arm. What are the odds of the quarterback in his arm broke? The odds have to be 1,000,000 to 1, Emilio. And I'll be go to hell if they didn't happen.
To me,
damn
honestly,
it!
Like as long as Shanahan has been here, that actually was his best season we've had with Shanahan. Even with that 2019 run, this was literally his best season.
Offensively, for sure.
So it's just we just need another offensive season like that.
Yeah.
I honestly think Trey is gonna get his opportunity. It's at this point, like I said, they're saying it's Purdy's job, which it is, and I understand why. Because did what he did.
Well, I mean, he earned it, actually.
This is basically Trey's last fun opportunity. Dude, if you don't show out and say you can win with this team, because you have a bunch of Pro Bowlers on this team, on your offense at that, you can win a couple of games and make sure you become the starter or stay the starter. That's the problem. Then I say, then I'm officially done with Trey too. Like I said, I didn't give all these.
I know. Just take video.
I didn't give.
He's got to above all, don't get hurt this year. Please don't do it.
That's the only thing. Like I didn't give Kaepernick a shot. I gave Gabbert somewhat of a chance, and I didn't give Jimmy a chance. So you guys get a chance, but it's just when you're not doing and you're not doing what you need to do, it's time for you to go. So for me, this is Trey's last shot. You get hurt or whatever, you don't produce, you play like Drake dog garbage, dog poop. You need to go, dude. So then at that point, it's Purdy. So to me, this is Trey's last chance. Make sure you stay healthy and you start winning some games and put up some points.
Well, he's got to be nervous, because like you're saying, he's thinking the same thing.
That's when you can't be nervous. That's when he's gonna start messing. He cannot be nervous. He needs to say, you know what?
Think about it,
okay,
Emilio.
I understand how.
I've been here for 3 years.
There's a lot on the line. I get that. But I'm like I said, I know how what they said. Trey, John and House said this is Purdy's job, starting job. But I'm like, you can change all that. He can change all that just by winning some games. All he has to do is they always say, like how we didn't like Sherman. We didn't like Sherman until he was on the team and we started winning games. You start winning, everybody's gonna say, well, okay, we'll rock with Trey until if and when he gets hurt. So.
And love you to the end. We got to roll though. But production cuts us off. But listen, I'll be back Friday, and since John and Kyle like to talk too much right now, I can't wait to see what they say next. All right.
Well, yeah, it's just hyping it up. Just hyping it up for the media and people give and take for what they want. But like I say,
all right.
Some of the stuff I get it why they say it, but it is what it is. Like I said, to me, I think Trey starts week 1. I don't see nothing else.
We're gonna take numbers on that soon. That's gonna be the next fun thing we do. All right, fam.
You might well start a poll. You might well start a poll and see what people say.
That's a good idea. Maybe we'll start that next show. All right, fam. Oh.
All right, you have a good night,
I'll see you
everybody
Friday.
else out there.
All right, fam. Hey, yo, Michael.
Hey, Ronbo, how's your night going, buddy?
Michael, it's fine because we haven't gotten to the season. I haven't gotten pissed off about the draft, although I never do.
No.
So everything's.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
That's the best time of the year, the draft in free agent.
I know. Free agency, I've gotten mad about that before, but the draft, because you don't know what these guys are going to do. I don't know these people, and when they come in and do good things,
no, I don't know them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a college nerd and watch all college games all your life and see these guys and study them, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's right. Do you watch college ball?
You know what you're getting. I watch some college ball. Yeah, no, I watch a lot of the Michigan football. I studied some of the quarterbacks when I was in high school. That's what I used to do. I used to watch these college guys, how they play and all that, and I kind of try to do the similar same play like that high school. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I kind of study like how they move the body. Yeah. But college is different, man.
It is, because when I watch college football, I don't see a lot of defense being played. I see the quarterback looking pretty as could be because it looks like he's always wide open. You rarely see him getting sacked. And he's throwing these bombs downfield of 60, 70 yards.
And he gets like 6 or 7, he gets 7 or 8 touchdowns.
And there's a receiver on the other end, and the score is like 59-42. They covered the spread, 59-40. Were they playing basketball? Jesus.
I mean, look at this. Yeah, college is way, way different.
So yeah.
And then and then with the quarterback, between Trey and Darnold, all thing I can say, I wish them both good luck. That's all I can say. I'm hoping to see Trey play. I like to see the young kid play. I feel sorry for that kid. In my heart, I feel bad.
Oh, I do too.
You look at him, you say to myself, if we ever got rid of him, imagine if he could be the next Mahomes. It's like you're giving something that could be worth a lot to somebody else, and he ends up grooming like a Mahomes to another team. I don't want to give him up. I want to play him. I don't care. Until Purdy's 100% ready, we'll see. But I think this is Trey's team right now to improve. I think this is it. This has got to be Trey. Donald's got to understand.
He's got to go out there and get it.
Before Donald.
Yep. Got to go out there and get it.
He's got to earn you got to earn it, man. I hope he gets it. I just pray to God he earns it and gets it. And Donald's got to understand it, No,
Donald's not understanding anything. He's going to come out there and try to win that job, which is what he's supposed to do.
Oh, he's going to try to win it.
Yeah. Now, can he do it? And can Trey stand up to that? That's going to be tough.
I'm just worried about the interception with Donald. If he gives up, I don't want him to be the next Prescott, give the ball away.
Last year he had a good year.
I don't want to be the. Last year was good, but
last year did good. That's the only reason why he's in the San Francisco 49ers camp. He did well last year, and he played Kyle-style football. A lot of short
Yeah.
passes, a lot of stuff across the middle, a lot of quick outs. He missed a couple of shots into the end zone that were gimmies. But for the most part, he looked a lot like Kyle's quarterbacks generally look, as if he knew something nobody else knew. That they
And
were
then my
gonna
cousin was asking me from North Carolina, "Oh, you guys are taking all the Carolina Panther players." I said, "Yeah, we got 5 of them so far. Who else is next on the list?"
That's right. We got 5.
We got Gonzalez, the kicker. We got the kicker.
Well, they can
from
put him
Carolina.
back though. But you know,
Yes.
because I hope we get that kid out of the draft to kick. Again, Zane.
Michigan.
My God, Zane is like part. Maybe he'll be okay. He gets hurt. How many kickers get hurt like that? The guy's been hurt 2 or 3 times. He's 26 years
Yeah.
old.
But
What?
And Gold is still out there. Gold is still out there. Like, nobody's picking Gold. It's like, Gold, come on, I'll pay you extra. You come back. I'll bring your family a house over here. Go. That's what I would have done.
Mike,
I would say, Gold, how about this? I'll move your family to the West Coast. I'll pay for
They
the
don't
house.
want to. They don't want to live in the West Coast, though. Mike, this is. You know what? It's time to start taking odds on that. Is Robbie Gold coming back to San Francisco?
I think the percentage is low. I don't think he is. I think you know what I mean.
Why?
It's a low percentage. I don't
Why?
know because I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe because his family, maybe his wife is all about, oh, stay here in Chicago. You know, I don't want you to be away from us. Maybe something with his wife. I don't know.
I say,
You know, sometimes
yes.
his wife.
I give it 2 or 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Because Robbie's not getting any hits. Nobody's asking Robbie.
Right, he's not
Because
getting no
if somebody
bites.
asks him to come in right now because they think his price is too high, 49ers are going to say, Robbie, listen, you've been out there fishing about. What did you get? Listen, how about we go? What did they offer him this year? Do you remember? 3? Something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Robbie, listen, I've talked to Jed. He wants you back. I want you back. Kyle wants you back. Hell, you know the guys
team
on the
wants you
team
back.
wants you back. 3.5.
Oh.
Robbie, come on, man. Give me a break. If I'm Robbie, come on. You know, because you're 40
And
years
Robbie could
old.
say, okay, all right, I'll come back. And then you could get rid of the Carolina guy. Or put
And
him
you
as a
give him
practice
face.
squad.
You give him face. You offer him a little bit more than you did. And you show him
Yeah.
how much you want him. I say he comes back.
Tell him how much you love him. Tell him he's a key player for your team for kicking, for special teams. He's a key special teamer. He wins games for us, gives us clutch kicks. I mean, come on, what other kickers could do good as him?
Guy's got ice water in his veins when it comes to that clutch kick you absolutely need. He will not miss. And I don't think his leg is tired.
Nope.
He looked strong last year enough.
No.
I don't want him on kickoff returns, though. I want Mitch Wisnowski doing all of that. But Robbie's your kicker.
Let him do it. Yes.
Because Mitch is
Yeah,
one
no,
of the better
he's got the
tacklers on the
leg for it.
team. I mean, guy comes running down the field,
He's a
and all of a
beast.
sudden you see him stop suddenly. What? Ooh, who hit? Mitch!
He's like a freight train.
Mitch
Somebody hits
stopped
them,
him.
boom, they're down.
Oh! That's a great tackle. So let Mitch do it. He does it
No,
better
he's
than
like
Robbie.
a freight train. Somebody hits them, you fall down.
And his technique.
I
Mitch
would
has
be
got
afraid
that-
of running against the punter. I'd be afraid of him.
Guys, rugby league tackles technique, you know?
Oh, rugby, they play hard. You watch rugby, you watch them.
And they have great technique
yeah.
on how to take a man down. That's you know,
Yes.
stop fooling
Yes.
around.
Just think how
Technique.
many, just think. I think he's the second rugby player the 49ers ever had. Remember the Niners had another rugby player that played, a running back?
Jared Hayne.
Yep. Another rugby player. That's when the other guy was coaching after Harbaugh. That guy had him.
No, Tom Sula. Do you know, though?
Yeah, Tom Basura had him. Yeah,
Did you remember those tackles he made? Jared Hayne could be one of the best gunners in the NFL. But that time I saw him drop that dude. Hayne beat everybody down the field, and I saw, whoa! Look, you always get that whoa effect, right? Look at Jared, man! Oh my God, he dropped that dude like a bad habit. Ho! What do we got here?
Oh yeah.
So rugby leagues.
And just think, in a couple more weeks, you got 3 weeks in the draft, probably a week before the draft, we got the schedule coming out. So I'll be on TV Network watching the NFL Network. You'll get to see who plays Thursday and Monday night games. I say not it'll have maybe.
Well, we got a lot of
maybe
prime time.
3 or 4 Monday night games.
Oh, easily.
I say 4.
Well,
Monday
you got
night
Monday night games
I say
anyway.
3 or 4.
Well, that's right, maybe more than one because of other teams.
But I say
But
the Eagles Monday night. I can see us playing the Eagles Monday night.
Oh God, yes.
That'd
Or
be primetime game.
Top primetime Sunday night.
Yeah, first week. No, I don't want to be first week. That'd be. Yeah, that'd be.
No, not first week.
There'll be a
I want
Monday
the
night
49ers
game?
I want the
No,
49ers
no.
2 or 3 weeks warming up. But
Yeah. I think that game would be Monday night, and maybe the Baltimore Ravens would be Monday night.
yeah, Monday night,
And
Sunday
maybe
night.
one of the NFC West team, like the Seahawks. Not the Rams. I wouldn't want to watch the Rams on Monday night. I'd throw the
Man, nobody's going to watch the Rams. They already, and you heard about the Rams sending
No.
out a letter to all their season ticket holders. Listen, we're expecting to suck this year, but hopefully you will continue to support our franchise and help root our team into what? I want my money back now from the Rams.
I'll support you when I feel. They're going to be the baddest team in the league, worst team in the league, I think. The Rams and the Cardinals. They're lucky they win 4 games
between them. Michael, we got to go.
They'll get maybe 4 wins. The Rams. All right, buddy.
I'll see you Friday.
You too, Ronbo, and have a good night, everyone in the 49 Nation.
You too, Empire fam. Good night, Mike. It's so much fun laughing at them hornheads. Watch them jump up and look good. Hey, yo, Levi.
Hey, Rumble, what's going on?
Levi, man, we talking about that same subject we talk about at this time each and every year. It's with the Rams quarterback, the 49ers quarterback situation. Going into the season each and every year, we don't know whose team it's going to be. And now, again, Levi, they said Brock Purdy. You know, Brock Purdy, since he ain't going to be here, we're going to have to run this like this. We just went and signed Sam Darnold. What? Because we think he's a good football player. Why don't you just go out and get an older vet? Because we want this competition to be like this. You guys, Kyle, you guys had fun. We know you guys like Sam Darnold for 2 or 3 years ago. And what did you do? You got your 2 draft picks, first round picks. Why aren't you working on Trey somewhere? So, you know, it's a Levi, let me stop because your perspective is always what I enjoy. What do you say about this madness?
Well, you know, being the Kyle Shanahan fan that I am, then it's clear.
Yeah.
He also don't trust in Trey Lance and what he sees, which is kind of bad because his initial assessment was like a bunch of check marks on how he looked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the one downside I have to give Kyle Shanahan. Like maybe you misjudged how well Trey Lance was going to fit in your system. Some people say, well, he ain't being healthy enough. He needed more reps.
Levi, before you go any further, though,
in the background,
but remember, I want to remind you that what we just heard a few months ago about the truth, because everybody said, where in the hell Kyle Shanahan go bring in no Mac Jones? And then we find out, oh, yeah, he was. If they would have left Kyle to pick the quarterback he wanted to, it may have been Mac Jones. See? So this is why him saying he likes Sam Darnold is a very bad sign for Trey.
I don't know about that. I know that I have seen reports that say that he did consider Matt Jones. It was definitely between Matt Jones and Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
I was also against Matt Jones. I'm like,
everybody was.
The purely stationary quarterback is, it's not really a great place to be. You need at least a little bit of mobility. You need mostly quarterback, but you also need mobility. So
Kyle likes those kind of guys, you know that. So this is why I'm saying, Trey has got an uphill climb this year because Darnold can actually play the pocket, and he actually is mobile. So now I think Sam is what Kyle was hoping Trey was going to be. Now, Trey hasn't reached that level yet. But we're going to find out. Trey might be ready. We ain't seen him do nothing in a long time. Trey might be working even as we speak.
First and foremost, I hope he ain't Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is a backup quarterback, and I think he may have accepted that role. I think he has the personality to be a long-term backup quarterback, a mid to high-end backup quarterback. I think that's what his goal is.
You think Sam?
I think he's accepted that.
You think Sam thinks? Sam does not think I'm going to tell you right now, Sam doesn't think he's a backup quarterback.
That's what he's not telling you, but he knows probably that he's going to be a backup.
Because I talked to Sam just yesterday. Levi, he did not sign no papers to be quarterback 3. Promise you that.
Okay, but if you think he'd be quarterback 3, do you think he's going to kick up dust?
Exactly why I know he didn't sign no quarterback. He would have signed here to be quarterback 3. They told him,
but how much did they
you
pay
can
him?
compete for the starting job. Was it 4? With incentives to take him all the way up to 11? Or is it 6 and up to 11?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody wants a chance to still see if he got it. But I think the writing's on the wall regardless if he fully accepted it or not. Of course, if you say, hell, I got another chance, of course, I would too. Even if I knew I was a backup quarterback and someone says, hey, man, great team, you got a chance to be a starting quarterback. Yeah, I'll take it too, even if I know it, man, I'm really just a backup level quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm not giving him no
that
incentives though,
chance.
Levi. If he just, I give him the same contract I give Nate Sudfeld. Nate, all right, sign here, $2 million. That's it. All right.
Well, I think Kyle Shanahan, I guess after that past year, he learned the importance of a third string quarterback, and I'm pretty sure.
after
I'm
Josh.
pretty sure if I got a question, would you have been at least a little bit feel your chances better if Sam Darnold was our third string, our backup quarterback last year?
Hell yeah!
And
Before you even finish, it's like them game shows where they got buzz. No, yes, I feel sure Sam Darnold would have did better than Josh. Josh got scared,
Okay.
Levi. He was actually scared. I seen it in his face. The camera got too close to him. Hands shaking. Josh. Oh my God. So we got
asking,
he got
hey,
killed.
can you repeat the play and all this other stuff? I'm like, man, we are in trouble.
And we were. Damn near killed Josh.
Well,
Left him in a concussion
anyway,
situation.
I am not at all confident in our quarterback situation. I heard. Yeah, I know you see me throwing stuff up. I'm throwing stuff up, Ted. All right.
You okay?
Well, anyway, yeah, everything's all right. But my overall take on the quarterback situation is not good. I don't have nobody on this roster that I'm confident in. I'm not confident in Brock Purdy's durability. I don't believe in Trey Lance anymore. Sam Darnold, I already told you, he's a backup quarterback.
They do this to us every year.
And then I know the Dartree. More hate for Kyle Shanahan next year.
He's the only one left to hate
Everybody's
now.
gonna blame him.
Now that Jimmy's gone, Kyle is going to get beat up, social media, everything else on a weekly basis. Now everything's going to be Kyle's fault. At least he used to have Jimmy. Anything that was wrong with the team, that's Jimmy's fault. Okay, now Jimmy's left. There's Kyle. Uh-oh, Kyle. Now they're going to get you. So, Levi, we need to get a quarterback.
Say, look who he's working with.
And get them together to stay with this team for 4, 5, 6 years. Stop switching quarterbacks every 5 minutes. That's not going to work.
I think he just never found his quarterback that he can trust yet.
Well, then you know what? Then have somebody else pick the quarterback or do something. Because you know what? If this is the case, one thing, they keep getting hurt. Now, that's number one. When you can alleviate that problem, you might have something going on. They can't do it. No other team has a quarterback. Well, Lamar Jackson does get hurt a lot. Who else gets hurt? See, you got to think about it. I can't. Wentz. That's it.
Yeah, that's good. All right, Ronbo. Well, my final thoughts is that I hope our quarterback situation gets better, and I'll talk to you on Friday.
All right, man. And
all right, man. You have a good one.
You do, Levi.
All right. Bye-bye.
Levi, they're stressing Levi at work. And let me get Atlanta GA fan Tony, who's got all kind of good things going on over in Falconville. And Tony, get on in here, man. You got Calais Campbell signing. You got Jerome. That Falcons defense line this year is going to be rugged. They got that rookie quarterback's going to be starting. And what I want to know is, hey Tony, are you there? Let's see. What I want to know is. Oh, Bethel. Hey, Bethel. I can get that closing door sound so I can use it myself because Bethel refuses to.
Hey,
Knows how much I
Rumble.
love that door. Bethel! Hey, did we do this? Oh, Bethel, hold on a second. Tony says,
right.
SO Production, SO Ronbo Sports, SO every sane caller. Ronbo, are you doing mock drafts this year? Mahalo. Mahalo. You know, we can. By the way, fam, you know what? Go ahead and send me a note. Hit me on Twitter, Rumble Sports. It's always Rumble Sports. Rumble Sports at Gmail. If you want to send me by email, send me that mock. I'm probably happy to do that anyway. If you want to do mocks, see, because I'm second, third round, I'm not good after the first round. I'm not good in the first round. So if you want to do a mock, Tony, I'd love to do a mock. Get you on there and see what you got. Big Show sent me, I'm waiting for Big Show. I didn't tell him yet. Big Show's going to send me 14 to 15 mocks between now and draft night. I haven't said anything about his mock. Show's always got fantastic drafts, though. But if you do want to do a mock draft, just let me know, and we'll get you on here, and you can run it down. All right. Tony, glad you reminded me. Thank you, Tony. All right. Let's get on here. Bethel. Yo, Bethel.
Yeah.
Bethel. Okay, you know about our quarterback comedy. I'm going to call it comedy because it's something now that I don't get mad about anymore. I don't get stressed out. There's no point in damaging your health behind John and Kyle's quarterback situation because Bethel, this time next year, we're still going to be talking about, well, here we go, guys. It's that time. I told you last year and the year before, the quarterback situation is going to be a work in progress again. Here we are again.
Yeah.
Bethel, and what are you thinking?
I'm thinking if the way Kyle said things, Brock Purdy won't help. Maybe they'll put him in the IR, and he won't be back until like week
like
4.
Tony was suggesting the pup, yeah.
Yes, you put him on week 4, and you basically have Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, and it's give Trey a chance, and something I actually end up finding out that Brock Purdy doesn't count in our cap hit because I guess all the players that we have that I guess on the depth chart that if a team say, okay, Brock Purdy is better than some of these other players in the draft, they might try to give you a first-round pick for Brock Purdy, and you get a first-round pick off of him. It's irrelevant. So, that's...
Brock gets paid so little amount of money.
Yeah.
Brock's cap hit's probably like $400 or $500. I mean, he doesn't get paid he gets less than $1 million, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his cap hit, nobody's thinking about his cap hit anyway.
No, and plus he doesn't count on the cap hit until the 53-man roster.
Oh, is finished?
Up. Yeah. So, then that's when, it depends on what happens. But
yeah, they could designate him to the IR or the BP, PUP. But, like they said, they're not going to know for another 3 months.
Yeah. If you really want him to heal up, put him in that and let him heal up. Let him heal up the right way. And plus, there might not be any quarterbacks in the board because if a lot of teams may think like the way like the Niners did, they're like, hey, maybe we could find a Brock Purdy in the draft. You never know.
They gotta have scouts like the 49ers though. See, the 49ers scouts are bad. They're a piece of work. Coming in there with Brock Purdy. I didn't even know what a Brock Purdy was, but I don't watch college football. Some people, did you watch him? Because some people said, no, Brock Purdy looked good at Iowa. The guy,
Yeah, I
I
seen some
know.
of his highlights and stuff like that. He did look really good. He actually didn't look bad. And what actually helped him out was his training that he did uh, on his off season. And the bad thing about him getting hurt is that the mistakes that he was making when he was a rookie, he couldn't really do nothing because remember he was turning around and going one way, and if the defense times it right, they're gonna sack him. And then plus he had to stay his feet to throw the ball away, and defense know that. And if he had a time to, make, his, practice to make himself better, then he probably would have been a better quarterback.
Who are we talking about? Are we
You
talking
know,
about? Are we talking about Brock or who are we talking
Brock
about
Purdy.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brock Purdy. Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Because remember, he had some flaws, and now there's more tape on him, and he can't correct them until he ends up getting healthier.
Yeah, he's got to get out there to work on some things.
So,
Yeah, but he was,
yeah,
as a rookie, most rookies don't start off looking like that. That's why I have no judgment to make on what he looked like this past season. I'm just amazed at the fact with his experience in NFL that he actually looked that good. I'm concerned. Did he plateau from jump, or is he going to get better? How does this work with him? That's what I'm kind of intrigued by.
the only difference is that look at the offense. The offense when Brock Purdy went in, the offense was already gelled, was already had time to work together, had time to have a chemistry when Brock Purdy went in. When Trey Lance, they were barely getting used to him until he got hurt in that monsoon.
Well, they played the whole off season. I think what the biggest thing was CMC. It's like I was telling people,
Yeah.
CMC makes all the difference in the world in what's going to happen in that offense. Because now he has to be accounted for. When he's not doing damage on you, defenses are eyeballing him. Meanwhile, the other guys are running free. CMC is like the most integral part of that offense. Debo used to be, but Debo was like a one-man show anyway. Whether you're watching him or not, he was going to kill you. So now you got two of those guys. Ooh, and your quarterback just find one or the other, or George, or Ayuk, or it's Juice.
Yeah.
Oh, it just goes on and on. That was just, wow. They finally arrived offensively.
Yeah, so it's, I think, what they're going to do is they're going to give Trey a shot, and, Trey just basically has to prove everybody wrong. That's it.
Yeah.
It's either...
He should be inspired, too.
Yeah, he should. He should. And, with all the doubts and everything, he should be... That should pump him up to, like he said it, to the media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to none of your bullshit, so, I don't pay no attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just show you when I get out there.
Yeah. And I believe him, too.
know,
I don't believe he
hopefully
listens.
he
That's a good thing. But you know what?
Yeah.
That he has Brock Purdy to get past, that they brought in Sam Darnold as if that wasn't, he's going to look at that, y'all, okay.
I think they did that just in case something goes
happens
wrong with him.
Because we got rid of Josh. So we get somebody making Josh.
And then plus,
and you do.
And then plus another thing is that we gave incentives to Jimmy G. If Trey would have not got hurt, Jimmy G would have been the backup for a long time until Trey gets hurt.
Actually, you're funny. On the day that the Dolphins killed Jimmy, do you know the 49ers, there was whispers about offering Jimmy G a contract? What did G say? Yeah, if the conditions are right. There was no way Jimmy G was going to re-sign a contract saying I'll be back up to Trey. So he was going to leave anyway. But Bethel, we got to roll. Hey, Bethel, let me see you Friday and see what develops in the fun city.
Yeah, and then plus, if people don't remember, Kaepernick lost all his weapons, and look at how sorry we were. We only won 2 games, and the only 2 games that we beat was the Rams.
Yes.
And we beat them, 30 to something?
Yep.
I still remember that.
I'll never forget it. I tell Rudy about it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rudy, better punch that like, and let's go Niners. All right.
Beth, have a good night. Yes, it was a fabulous year. 2 wins against that same old sorry-ass Rams. By the way, J&D, listen, what do you mean we don't have any future Hall of Fame wide receivers? You got Steve Largent from the you haven't got anybody in the Hall of Fame just yet? What is that? How many total wide receivers do I have in the Hall of Fame, which you should ask? Liam.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Liam, I'm sitting here enjoying the fact that, I've gotten used to, and it doesn't have the impact that it used to. The same time next year, we'll also be talking about this particular subject, and you know this. So there's no need to be concerned beyond, par for the course. So, Liam, your assessment, as it is what we do, traditionally we do talk about it, with the quarterbacks. As you've heard what they've said, now what do you think? See, that's all you can do as a 49er fan. You got to sigh, and then,
You want to be decisive. You want to have the answer.
Yes.
We had the answer. Then we had the answer again.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the answer again, and it was crazy. And now we're hoping we find the answer, or that we have the answer.
And so the story, as the world turns, as San Francisco
turns. As the world turns.
Yeah. You couldn't
this
write.
summer, San Francisco.
You can't write a better script. It's hilarious. God. And by the way, Liam, should the 49ers win the Super Bowl, had it been last year or this upcoming season, everybody will say, well, the 49ers have never really had a quarterback, so it's all about Kyle. I'm starting to buy into it. It used to be I thought people were picking on Kyle. But you know what? If we win the Super Bowl, Kyle's going to tell everybody, well, no, I only need a solid defense. I can score points. Kyle, why you said I can score points? You mean you can you can put your team in position to score points? Oh, well, you know what I mean.
I mean, the truth of the matter is, all these players have chances to start, and we saw what the offenses looked like underneath all of them.
Yeah, actually.
And the offense that scores the most points is the one that has Brock Purdy at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the injury, of course. So we have to have a wild card. And we don't know. That's true. We don't know. We want to know. We want to hope. The facts are such that 70, 80% of people who go through this process, generally is going to check out. You got to figure the 49ers are doing something like that. Let me go back to this. Let me see here.
Because
what I did was I looked at pitchers. Because, and this was after Tommy John. Well, he didn't get Tommy John, right? He got something that was apparently less intense, right? So I thought, okay, well, what about pitchers? Because they have to throw, if they're going to go 7-9 innings, they're going to throw about 100 pitches at least, maybe 110. And you're throwing that ball 90 to 100 miles an hour unless you're
and putting torque on that elbow too. Some of those junk pitches and curves and sliders.
Yeah. So there's a study here from MLB.com. I don't know if these numbers are juiced by them, but they say that according to some studies, most pitchers who undergo the surgery can return to their previous level of competition with a success rate of 70 to 80%.
Yes, I did read that
So
one.
as a
That's
comparable, and what, the quarterback's going to throw the ball 20 to 30 times.
in Shanahan's
If
offense.
if
30 is it's a big number. Yeah, compared.
yeah, maybe 33, 34 times here and there.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally, maybe, I mean, Brady seems to just throw 50 passes a game, 40, 45 passes a game. But some of these other guys, look at Peyton Manning. A guy broke his freaking neck. The guy comes back and wins a Super Bowl. Come on, give me a break.
No, that was frightening.
Broke his neck. He broke his neck. Oh, it's not his elbow, but, and the pitcher's pitching every 5 days. Quarterback's throwing every 7. Well, I mean, the quarterback throws in practice, obviously, but
We throws every day. But he's not throwing
days
high volume. Sometimes 20 throws a day, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, and you got to figure all the sports medicine they have, all the physiotherapy they have, all the technology they can bring to bear, all of the various treatments. They're gonna, the hyperbaric chambers, the hydrotherapies, the cold chambers, the cryo chambers,
Just
like
no
you
massage,
name it, whatever
no
it is they're
massages.
gonna do.
Yeah.
No massage. Yeah, don't touch it. Just let it heal. Just let it heal. Don't touch it. Only God can touch that elbow.
And
Only
he's not
God,
dressed
and
like
that's
she
to bless
is.
it.
Yeah.
We're hoping I can't tell God what to do, of course, but I'm hoping if he does touch his elbow, it's to bless it.
Yeah.
It's a bit absurd. I know it's ridiculous, but I don't know. It is unfortunate about Lance. Now, the other thing is, if some great points have been made tonight, hey, it's got to be a lot of motivation, maybe. But I frankly just think we're going to trade him because the thing is, if they are really that uncertain, they've got to make a call, and they got to make it quickly because his value is going to be highest going into the draft. If it turns out that he's not, what they think he was.
Yeah. What night is draft night? Is that? Are we 3 weeks
the
away?
27th or something. It's late. It's late in the month.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's my theory. Now, it might not be a very positive theory. It might not be one that people want to hear. And I know that's kind of been floated out there, but I was sort of earlier on this bandwagon personally, but it just, because if he comes out, basically the more known of a quantity he is, the less his value will be unless his known quantity becomes very positive.
Liam,
and in which case we're unlikely to trade him.
That's an interesting point because you're right. I have to agree with that because you know what? If he goes out there and he lays an egg in preseason or something like that,
then we're just stuck with like a major cost. And like we're still going to have it, but like we might be able to get something in return because he's unknown still. And it may be that he goes off and has a banger career if that scenario does unfold.
And then we're crying about should have kept him.
Prove all the doubters wrong and ball out. Like, okay.
But we got to go, Liam. I think I'll see you Friday, and let's see what else happens between now and then. That's an interesting point,
yes,
though.
Sir.
To expose him or not.
Yeah. Good night, sir.
All right. Night, Liam.
See what happens. Okay, bye.
And hey, Tony.
Ronbo, good evening. How are you?
Tony, doing just great. There's nothing to be bothered by now, except for the antics going on in our quarterback department. But Tony, you have. I noticed. I was looking at all the things going on. You finally signed Calais. You got Jaron. You guys are just looking good, man. I'm telling you right now. That's why I mentioned
David. Yep, David Amiyata in the middle. and then his backup at nose tackle, Eddie Goldman. We started to put it together defensively.
And there's no way the Falcons would have an offensive issue. All they got to get is somebody to put the ball in the right guy's hands. No Lamar Jackson for you, though. Tony, where is Lamar? Why do people keep Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers are making me laugh now? Because, you know, the Jets have already overcommitted, right? They've done everything they can to get it. If they don't, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't say, I mean, if Green Bay doesn't say, listen, guys, we need a first-round pick. Why? Aaron doesn't want to play with you guys anymore. Let me give you two. Let me give you 2 2s, one this year, one next year, a 3 and a 4. You know,
another thing what's holding that up is the Jets don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play beyond 2023. I'm like, I didn't know that. So that's what the holdup is too. But Green Bay's also playing hardball to get even with Aaron, as you and I talked about.
Right, just make him sweat. That deal's going to take all the way to damn near camp start. You know that, right? That's why I'm laughing and say.
I think it's going to happen on draft night, to be honest.
Do you think so?
I think so, but what do I know? I could be wrong.
Yeah, but why would it happen on draft night, though?
I don't know. If it goes to camp, man, that's a long time, Ronbo. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be pissed.
There you go. That's my underline right there. You know, the Green Bay Packers, Aaron, you know, you've given us nothing but, I mean, you've been bothering us for how many years? You haven't won a championship in God knows how long. You're walking around here like you're the, you know, make them sweat.
And lost a lot of NFC championships too, a lot of them. To you guys, to Seattle, to us. There was more to Tampa. He lost a lot of NFC champions.
I'm telling you, so when people say, well, you know, Aaron's never had the right pieces around him. Oh, we could find excuses for Aaron, but you know, I'm not.
But Ronbo, real quickly, I left one of my chats tonight and I unsubscribed because we were talking Falcons football and then they started on Aaron Rodgers. Lamar Jackson. I'm like, we're gonna start on this again. I'm like, I'm tired of talking about Lamar Jackson. He's not coming to us. See, they're mad because Arthur Blank said at the owners' meetings on NFL Network that we're moving forward. He explained back in the Julio Jones, Matt Ryan days that Matt Ryan took up 25% of our cap space. He said we don't want to be there again. And you and I talked about that, Ronbo, about purgatory. You know, and now they're all pissed off. I said, okay, if you guys keep talking about Lamar Jackson in this chat, I'm gone and I'm not coming back. I was talking to the guys that was doing the show. They kept talking. I'm like, see ya, and then I unsubscribed.
No, that's
I want to talk Falcons football.
Yeah, that's just busy. That's just silly talk because Lamar Jackson, no matter what you want to, if you want to pay that $200 million, now Lamar says he's not guaranteeing any money. But no matter what, you still have to gut your roster. What people fail to realize, if he comes to your team, there's going to be a mass exodus of talent leaving too. And now you're back to square one anyway. Nobody thinks about that.
Can't get him now. If we'd have signed Lamar Jackson, Ronbo, we wouldn't have been able to get David Amenyata, the defensive tackle. We wouldn't have been able to sign Calais Campbell. We wouldn't have been able to bring back Lorenzo Carter, our outside linebacker. We wouldn't have been able to sign Caden Ellis, the outside linebacker from New Orleans. We wouldn't have been able to get these guys.
And that's not all. Tony, you'd have to get rid of some more blue chip salaries to meet that demand.
And it would mortgage our future, like you said, with those picks. Forget that, man.
So I always laugh. I mean, people talk about the 49ers would be just really scary with Lamar Jackson. Guys, I got to get rid of Debo. CMC's out of here. I got to get rid of George Kittle. That might cover what we got to pay Lamar Jackson. All right? So now, how is that feasible? Where in anybody's mind does that make sense?
And you guys are trying to recover now from last year not having the first round, this year not having the first round for Trey Lance. If you get Lamar Jackson, you ain't going to have no first next year.
Yes, along with everything else, reducing salary in order to make room for this. And so I'm saying, it's Lamar Jackson. He's going back to Baltimore. The Ravens know it because they've already figured this out. Lamar's going to go around. He's demanding a trade. Nobody's calling.
I'm surprised he's acting like Lamar Jackson is caught up. He's gotten caught up with. Don't be going to social media. That's just making it worse. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I saw Dion chatting him up. You know, I see.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
You guys.
It's not worth it. And the Rams are going to go 3-14. You know, everyone used to talking about them. I can't believe all those bombs are here in the chat tonight. I see Rudy and Marketing Slow and Chrissy, Kim Jim, Everett. I see them all in here. I'm like, you guys have no, like you said, Ronbo, they have no shame.
None. You know, that's all right. Because, you know, they have my sympathy. They're refugees now. Their team just disintegrated and turned to dust right before their very eyes. Yeah, Market Pro, Rudy, you guys are welcome in here.
Ronbo,
Huh?
yeah, and talking about your quarterback situation, you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but Ronbo, I think Trey Lance, y'all just picked up Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Ronbo, I think Sam Darnold under Kyle Shanahan's tutelage can work in this system, man.
You know,
I do.
I saw that clip of what he did with Carolina last year. That's why I just got through telling someone I don't know who was talking. I forgot who was talking to, but Sam Darnold was out there running Kyle's offense. Short, quick shots across the middle, little outs and things like that. Getting the ball, giving the ball to the quarterback. Giving to the running back. I said, you know, Lombardi put that clip up. I said, you know, that's Kyle's football. No wonder Kyle went and got him as fast as possible. He wasn't throwing INTs.
And think about the pieces. Think about the pieces that Sam Darnold has around him in San Francisco
Compared to what he had in Carolina.
Yes, and he's got the experience.
We got to.
Brock Purdy ain't gonna be ready, and I hope you guys don't try to rush him back, Ronbo. Let him take his time. If it's October, he's back. I think he'll be back in October. At
the earliest, probably, right? Because they don't know what that arm is going to look like. That's why the 49ers aren't saying anything. There's 12 weeks is 3 more months, right? So they're not going to know until, what is that, April, May, June? Yeah. They'll know maybe in July.
You don't want to rush training camp? No, man. Let him rest. Let him heal. Let him strengthen. You got. Right now, he's going through the healing process.
Yeah.
Then after 12 weeks, you got to do more strengthening. You got to strengthen that arm to get it back, and just don't throw him out there.
Yeah.
You know, take the time. If he's back in mid-September, that's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Mid-September. But
Because
I'm saying October.
Yeah, because you know, Trey and Sam Darnold, not necessarily better than Trey, but he's got the time put in the league already. And from what I seen last year, it's taken Sam Darnold 4 years to look like he looked on that clip that I seen. Now, Trey's going to need at least 2, and he hasn't had a chance yet to get his 2 years in. So that's the only reason why I see an uphill battle for Trey trying to beat Sam out. If Sam learns that offense, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go back to college for a minute.
Real quick, because we're out of time.
You remember Sam Darnold at USC with all that talent he had around him?
Yeah.
Deja vu in San Francisco.
Yeah. So there it is. Tony, let me see you Friday, and let's see what develops around the NFL and in 49erville and Falconville as well. All right.
Still waiting to hear about Yannick Ngakwe. Ain't heard nothing. But,
I know, right? He's probably asking for too much money. God. All right.
You'll still have to come down sooner or later.
It's gonna have to.
I'll talk to you on Friday, sir.
All right, Tony. Looking forward to it. Night.
Guys, hit those likes. Those likes are too low. Hit the likes for Ronbo. He's the best in the business, and we all know it. Hit the likes.
Thanks, Tony.
See you Friday.
Especially you, Rudy. Hi, Tony.
Good night, sir.
Hey, Merrick.
Hey, Ronbo.
Merrick. John and Kyle have spoken.
How's your night?
It's great. It's great. You know, Merrick, my nights will always be great until week 1. And then, of course, the worry, the anxiety, what? Dang, what are we going to do now? Jeez, I know we could have.
I bet it helps when you can talk to the Niner fan every week.
Yeah, we're going to win. Merrick, this year we're going to go off on a 5-game win streak. And, it's going to be funny. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be, but we're going on a 5-game win streak. There you go. Fill in the blank, Merrick. Who's going to be that quarterback starting off that 5 wins in a row. We never start off fast, but this year we're going to. Well, we had 2019, but that's the last year we started off fast.
Yeah, as for our quarterbacks, I honestly think it should be whoever does the best in camp. So right now, I'm leaning Sam Darnold to beat Trey out for the starting job, but I could see either quarterback being the starter until Brock is healthy enough to be QB1 again.
Can you imagine? You're Sam Darnold, you're Trey Lance. We're just placeholders here until Brock gets better. He was drafted when? Don't ask me that question. Well, I'm just wondering. I mean, how do you feel about that? And then listen, it's football, okay? Leave me alone. Doesn't matter. I know there's no real shame involved, but it would be hard for me to bite. I was ranked one of the best coming into the league as a prospect, and this guy gets drafted last 5 minutes away from being a UDFA, and he's taking my job. So so somebody said Sam Darnold came over to San Francisco, and well, I can beat that as far as Brock Purdy goes, and Trey Lance, I'm thinking pretty much the same about him. So Darnold's over here signing contracts, getting incentives, saying all the right things in his press conference. It's not fooling me any. Sam's got his eye placed sharply on starting. And he should. I mean, you're supposed to. Otherwise, the 49ers wouldn't want him.
I think Sam chose to sign with us instead of a team where he could have been a starter too, or a team with lesser talent, because he knew Kyle was probably telling him, we're going to let you compete for the starting job.
Right.
Otherwise, he would probably not have signed here.
That's what I'm saying. And give him that kind of package. And if you do win the job, here's what lies ahead. Now, you get a base rate of this. Now, here's just some of the incentives. If you do get that starting job and you achieve this, look at the number now. So Sam Darnold's coming in here with all the gusto in his head that you can get to get that job done. So I'm looking for a hell of a preseason. Can you not wait for that first couple of preseason games? Somebody's Trey and Sam. They both want that job. Who's gonna get it? That will be fun to watch.
Yeah. But one thing I'll say is I am getting a bit tired of all the QB fan clubs we seem to have all the time, where you have like the Trey fan club, the Sam, like tiny Sam Darnold fan club, you got the Purdy fan club, then we have the Jimmy fan club. Why can't we just all, like one quarterback as 49er fans and root for him?
You're asking for too much, Merrick. That's never going to happen. This is what we do in the Empire. We pick a quarterback, and if anybody says anything bad about him, we fight. So, Merrick, can I assume you're not going to be jumping on any particular club?
No, I mean, I'm going to root for whoever the starter is, whether it's Trey, Sam, or Purdy. I think Purdy gives us our best chance to win, though, so I'm leaning slightly into the Purdy camp, I guess.
There you go. See? I'm through. Like you just mentioned, I've had it. I supported Jimmy and got in knockdown, drag-out fights for the entire time he was with us. Whoever wins now.
I supported Jimmy as well, but every now and then he would do some bonehead play. It's like, Jimmy, what are you doing?
I saw those plays, but then I saw all the other good plays as well, and we were winning ball games. And then I look around the league and see other quarterbacks, and I see nobody that's having perfect games each and every week, right? So I says, it's asking a little too much to expect a quarterback to never, ever make a mistake. And if he does, that's all he does is blah, 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 blah. I say, okay, that's where it is.
I mean, every
Guys,
quarterback is making mistakes
8-2
out there.
We're 9-1. I mean, people are still complaining. So, yeah, there's not a quarterback that's not going to ever make a mistake. It's not going to happen.
And people rave on Mahomes, but he was a really raw prospect. He just went to the perfect situation. Now he's probably the best quarterback in the NFL now.
Oh, Mahomes?
If he went to the Bears or something at number 1, yeah, Mahomes.
Yeah, it might have been.
He would not be the same Patrick Mahomes he is now.
I agree with that. I always
he
did.
Went to an offensive genius in Andy Reid. You get to
Or
learn under
Bieniemy.
him and
We should
Alex
probably get more
Smith for a season, and Bieniemy, yes. You get to learn under those and Alex Smith for a whole season.
I got Travis Kelce in his prime. I got one of the fastest receivers in football history in Tyreek Hill. He's got other guys on his side. The table was set. All I got to do is close my eyes and let that ball fly. Nobody's going to keep up with Tyreek Hill. I can throw the ball 100 miles an hour and throw it for 300 yards. This is a perfect scenario. But Mahomes is good, and he proved that this year, though, because he didn't have all those weapons except for Travis Kelce. But the rest were pretty young and inexperienced. He had Juju. Who else did he have? Was Lazard over there too?
No, Lazard was with the Packers last year, and now he's a Jet.
Yeah. Who was? He had one more premier wide receiver, not premier. Well, a good wide receiver.
He had Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Valdez-Scantling. He was also a Packer. Yeah, those aren't number one types, but they're good, and they were just good enough. So it was all about him. He's been groomed. He's arrived. So.
And I think Shanahan can do a similar job with Purdy or whoever it is. So I'm definitely not in the camp of let's fire Shanahan. It seems like anytime he does something that we don't agree with, we want his head on a stick.
Yeah, that's what we do. Man, we got to go. I'll tell you what, I'll be looking for you on Friday, and just have a great night.
All right, you too.
Thanks, Merrick. And, hey, David. David. Let's give David a minute. We got anybody else? Okay. So anyway, fam, Dave, we'll get you next time. I'm going to go, and thanks for the contributions tonight, fam. Always appreciate it. And let us see what happens as the 49ers turn. Our next episode. We should show previews and highlights now. What's going to happen next? I mean, as I said at the beginning of the program, this is something we probably have gotten hardened to by now. They're going to do it every year. There's going to be a situation with the 49ers. We're going to hear about Kyle out looking around for people and talking to other people. They've already got a quarterback. They got two quarterbacks already in tow that are doing a great job. Why not instill more confidence in them? Kyle's out shopping around, talking to the quarterbacks, and always gets back to the media. So I'm telling you right now, that's why I'm not falling in love with any more quarterbacks. That's it for me. Anyway, fam, I'll see you Friday, and let's see what happens with the 49ers next. Have a great night. Appreciate you, fam. Hit that like, please, and subscribe so I can find you when we get ready to do this. And I'll see you shortly. And